Lighting is a thing. This light, maybe just turn it down. It's probably good enough. Shiny head. Don't have enough light, that's why. Now is the time. Alright, so today I'm going to be hanging out. I'm looking for IQ members to discuss streaming topics with. If you guys have any questions about your stream setup, equipment, to the best of my ability and my knowledge base, I will do what I can to advise, answer questions, and help y'all make decisions. I'm just gonna hang out for a bit. What's up, Steel? How's everything going with you? I wish this animated emotes would work in OBS chat. This makes me sad that they don't. They're on. Whatever. So, hope y'all doing well. Y'all, I got a southern in me today, apparently. Everybody slept well. Hope everybody's good, having a good weekend. I know you're always here, Steel, lurking and stuff. If you have any questions about equipment, tech, streaming, is there anything you're running into, struggling with, setting up on your stream, you let me know. I don't know, my voice, am I losing my voice? I don't know. Maybe my voice isn't awake yet. I haven't really talked much today. Hope everybody's having some good dreams, sweet dreams. I love sweet dreams. I'm having my own sweet dreams, of course. Doing my best to survive, exist, and thrive. Taking a break since you haven't felt like playing anything live. Yeah, I don't really know what your goals are with streaming, but if it's just to play games while you're live, then do you, you know? I know you joined IQ mostly probably for the community aspect to support what we're doing. So it's always good to have more people that are just around for moral support. But if you do have any questions, about streaming or about tech or about whatever, this helps me as well because I can figure out videos to make for the YouTube channel if it's not something I've already covered or if I need to go more in depth. I'm sure everybody ends up with needing help. That's just life. That's just like if you don't feel like you ever need help, you should rethink how you think. Isn't that called repent? You should repent. Like just earlier this year, I had a few months ago, my receiver, which is like way back in the corner back there. Let's see if I can point at it. It's that little box right there. I have a Sony receiver, 7.1 receiver that's ancient. It's fantastic. Sounds great. I was cleaning it. I have an electric air duster, which I highly recommend if you guys are into technology and you have computers and stuff. Metrovac, is that what it's called? DataVac? Yeah, Metrovac. It's made by Metrovac, so if you look on Amazon. This thing is amazing. It is super great. It comes with some attachments so that you can, it's got very good pressure. Blows dust like crazy out of stuff. Here's the thing though. Don't do it with your stuff plugged in. Make sure your stuff is unplugged and give it maybe even a minute or two being unplugged so that capacitors have a chance to kind of discharge a bit. They're not going to fully discharge their capacitors, but You want to give it a moment to let the electricity kind of, you maybe push the power button on your stuff to get the energy drained out before you use something like this. My problem, I think a couple of things happened, right? So I was using this to clean my receiver. My room gets a fine amount of dust pretty regularly. Just a thin film. So I got to dust everything. Like, this is pretty dusty. Dust accumulates really easily. So that is great. The Metrovac's great because you can dust out electronics. Just make sure your stuff's unplugged. So if you have a 7.1 receiver, I learned this lesson. Okay, I have these banana plugs from my speakers going into the back of the receiver. Hey, Perm, hope you're doing well. I have these banana plugs, and they're not super secure. I don't really like how they secure. I'm gonna maybe try soldering the cables to the inside. Hopefully that'll fix it. I need to figure out a better way to... I am doing much better these days, thank you. I need to figure out a better way to secure the cables. But anyway, I have these banana plugs in my receiver. So I was cleaning the receiver, I was dusting it out, and I wanted to get kind of behind it a little bit, so I moved it. And one of the cables slipped out of the banana plug and touched... it was the surround back. I have a speaker up on the ceiling back here. Surround back right channel touched. Even though the receiver was in standby mode, this was enough to short out that line inside the receiver. And so, unfortunately, the receiver went into a protect mode after that. I could turn it on, but it'd say protect and shut right off. So, this is all about help, right? I don't know how to fix that. I can solder, but I don't know what parts need to be replaced. I don't know what's wrong with it. So I went to YouTube, and I just started looking up Sony Protect Mode, and I tried everything short of the soldering new parts on. And turns out, most likely what happened was I did create a short in the circuit when I touched the two. When the lead touched, the negative and positive touched the same terminal, because it slipped out of the banana plug, it touched the other banana plug, and boom. I know what I could do. I could probably insulate the outside of the banana plug with electrical tape so that can't happen. That's a good idea, actually. Oh, and I could actually wrap the cable up, too, with it. Okay, I got an idea. Maybe I don't got to solder. Anyway, so receiver wouldn't work anymore because of the protect mode error. So I bought the parts. There's I don't know what they are. They're like little gates. It's almost like a man, I'm not an electronics person. I just kind of, if you tell me what part needs to come out and go back in, I could probably do it. So it's like a MOSFET basically, but for audio, right? And so there's these parts that attach to the heatsink that the circuit goes through. There's two of them. This is probably the positive and negative round. And I tested them with a multimeter. They were reading funny compared to the rest. And there's like a white block thing that needs to come out. So I desoldered those parts and I replaced all of them. And the receiver works. It works now. Problem is that channel has like a distorted sound. I think something else in the line is bad. Well, the thing is, I have a new receiver, but my point is, we all need help. As good as I am with electronics and fixing things and stuff, I still have to go to YouTube and watch repair videos and try to get an idea of how to fix things. So don't be ashamed if you guys need help. There's nothing wrong with looking for help, needing help, asking for help. If you're lost, if you have questions, that's fine. That's totally normal. I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do with everything. So, yeah. Oh yeah. I also hold the fans so they don't spin, or you can unplug them. That's a good point. Especially on the video card, you do not want those to spin. The motherboard usually has a little bit extra protection built in, so it's a little bit okay. You're less likely to short stuff on the motherboard, although you could if you do spin them, and for a long time, because a fan has basically a motor in it, and when you spin it, it's going to create electrical current and send it back down the cable, and that electrical current could go back into the motherboard and short things. Now, it would take a lot and a while to create a real problem. But yeah, always hold your fans. Clean your fans and hold them. Turn them off, turn your computer off, unplug everything, push the power button a bunch to clear all the electricity out of the motherboard that's kind of saved in there. And I stick a pencil or something, a stick in the fan so it can't spin. And then you dust it, so. But yeah, that is true. You don't want the fans to spin, especially on the graphics card. They're more likely to short the graphics card. So spinning it real quick, not a problem. It's the the fan blowing spinning the fan like crazy for a while. You don't want that. You can have the power cable. You could. Well, you don't really need to have the ground connected. If it's unplugged, there's no point in needing the ground if there's no power. Also, the case should be grounded. If you've mounted your motherboard properly, the case acts as a ground. So, at worst, you could just put your hand on the case, one hand on the case, so that But shorting the computer with static electricity is almost impossible. There's a good video on this from Linus Tech Tips. Like, they took electrical static chargers and purposely tried to fry RAM, motherboards, and they couldn't even do it when they upped it to like unreasonable amounts of static electricity. Didn't even affect it. So just keep in mind that static electricity is not nearly as big of a deal. It was a bigger deal when computers were ancient. This is kind of like those very old. Well, it wasn't a sham when they first brought it out, right? When computers first came out, you didn't want to have magnets near anything. You didn't want to use a magnetic screwdriver. You wanted to be very careful with older tech. A lot of this stuff is so well grounded, and the circuitry handles such higher voltages. It's not as much of a worry anymore. It was when we had 486 systems and things weren't well grounded. You're using like motherboards that have like 1 to 2 layers sometimes. These are like 7-layer boards now. They're getting up there. They're much thicker. They're much more resilient. Magnetic screwdriver is not going to erase your shit on your motherboard. It's not likely to, at least. You need a really powerful magnet. So a lot of this stuff that we've like grown up with, the advice is kind of not as relevant anymore. Things change as electronics change. Things change. This is true for a lot of things. You want to look up, talk to modern techs about stuff. This is true for cars too. You don't always need to do the stuff that they tell you used to have to do with cars, like letting them warm up. If you have a modern car, it's fuel injected. It's gonna adjust the RPMs on its own to warm up the engine, things like that. So modern tech's a lot better. So yeah, what's up, Gas Frog? Thanks for joining us. Static is not as big of a deal. I wouldn't worry about. Actually, I would probably not plug it in, just so there isn't any extra voltage. And because if you're cleaning it and you accidentally hit that power switch on the power supply, you're going to supply power to the system, and you don't want power. But this is less of an issue with the computer. I mean, I still would unplug my computer. I study a lot of electronics, and I watch a lot of videos from really good creators on a lot of topics. I'm not even that into cars, but I watch car repair mechanic. Scotty, rev up your engines, right? Rev up your engines. Who doesn't love Scotty? So, suffice it to say, just, try to get more modern advice on, But yeah, definitely want to dust all of your stuff. If you have a soundboard like I do, this is really important to keep not dusted, especially if you're going to take my advice and put a fan on it, because unfortunately these boards get really hot, and they've got incredibly cheap capacitors, like the worst Chinese capacitors. The power capacitors are usually fine. It's the smaller capacitors in the power circuit that go bad, because they get the power ones can handle the heat that it produces without any active cooling. It's the smaller capacitors that typically go wrong. So I stick a tiny little USB fan, like a silent 120. No, it's not a 120. I don't know. It's pretty small. It's a small fan. You can get them off Amazon for like $12. And I've had 2 soundboards, Behringer soundboards, go bad on me because of heat. Because I run them, it's in my setup as like on, right? It's just always on. So yeah, I'd feel the bottom of the motherboard where the power supply is not motherboard, the soundboard, and it would be very warm like if it's that warm on the outside, those capacitors are hot, and cheap capacitors do not like heat. The capacitors aren't so bad that they won't like break on you in a year or something, but 2-3 years down the line, if you run it as much as I do, like it's in your setup and you run it like with your computer, my computer's on, the soundboard is on. No matter what I'm doing, computer's on, soundboard's on. It's just how I run. With a fan blowing into the side where the power supply plugs in, it's cold. It is nice and cold. There is no worry, even in the summer. Just some active heat, it really just needs a little bit of air moving across those capacitors, and it keeps it nice and cold, So if you have a soundboard, $12. I mean, the soundboard's $250 typically, sometimes more, sometimes less if you get a good deal. You don't want to replace this every 2 years, 3 years, because a capacitor that is really hard to get to goes bad. I had to get rid of one board already. Sadly, I should have kept it before I started getting into tech repair. I probably could have fixed it. I did buy another one off of Goodwill, and I fixed that one. So, but it's not as good as the one I had, but whatever, it doesn't matter. It's actually not as powerful, but it is better in some ways. It has active fans on it. So you could replace the capacitors if you're comfortable, but you'd have to be comfortable doing that. I'm comfortable doing that. Most people aren't. So, and it's a pain. It's a pain. It's a pain. Like if taking apart a PlayStation scares you, you don't want to be that. You don't want to be that person. It's expensive in time and investing in the tech to do it right. You don't want to replace capacitors with like any old crappy, cheap other capacitors. The capacitors are cheap. That's not even the worry. It's really more about getting like a good soldering iron, good solder, good flux. If you're just going to do it once, see, I'm a person who wants to know how to repair everything because I'm tired of when things breaking, having to just replace it. I want to fix it. Like my receiver back there, I wanted that to work again. Even though I bought a new one. I have a new one. The reason that one is out right now is because the new one, I don't know. Are any of you guys into audio and have receivers and stuff? Does anybody follow this stuff? I have a Yamaha TSR 700. Bang for buck, it is the best receiver you could buy that has HDMI 2.1. So if you're looking for an HDMI 2.1 for your setup, the TSR 700, I got it from Costco for like $400 or something. Ridiculous price. Yeah. I've fixed the refrigerators. I've fixed all kinds of stuff. I'd rather fix things. I fixed my car. I fixed my consoles. I like fixing things instead of buying them again. And I love old tech, so I wanted to learn how to repair stuff. So, my most recent project, besides fixing that receiver back there, was replacing an HDMI port on a PS4 for the best Jared. He still hasn't told me if it works. I mean, it worked before I shipped it. I'm just worried about shipping. Anyway, so if you want your stuff fixed, I might be able to help. There's that. Yeah, the Xbox 360. A lot of people threw that in the oven to try to fix it, which did work for some people, because it would it would heat up the solder joints enough. I did that with a PlayStation 3 that was busted. I think the GPU needed to be reballed, that or the CPU, and I just wanted to get it on long enough to be able to get my save files and my data off onto a hard drive, which worked. But man, I was like in the oven and I was using hot air. I was using a hair dryer to like heat up the GPU socket on the back. That was fun. That was before I knew anything about repair. That was maybe my first like. I was always pretty good at like repairing mechanical stuff, but not electrical, not micro soldering. I'd done like very minimal soldering, like very, very minimal wires and things like that. A couple of joints on like a motherboard, maybe. Very, very minimal. Not like taking a capacitor off and replacing it or soldering in mods for new consoles and stuff. That's all the stuff I learned this year, basically. But yeah, so the TSR. I always want to say TRS. TSR 700, HDMI 2.1. There was that HDMI 2.1 bug where the chipset that pretty much every HDMI 2.1 receiver has from the supplier. They're doing a board upgrade, so it supports variable refresh rate and all the stuff that you want out of HDMI 2.1. The receiver is supposed to come with, but there was a bug, and they have to swap out the HDMI board. So I had to ship it in to have the board swapped to do the upgrade, and then that caused me to finally try to fix this receiver so that I have a receiver while the other one is gone. Sadly, I think I have to go over the solder joints because the audio on that channel it's crackly. It's not clean. It sounds like a bad connection. So, but it turns on and it works. I just turned that channel off. I just put the volume on it all the way off, and so that it's not even running the speaker basically. It could also be that the cable isn't connected right in the banana plug or something. So I'll find out when I swap to the new receiver. When I get it, I'll know right away. Because if it's dusty on that, then nothing's wrong with the unit. So that's why I didn't want to open it up and do anything. It's better to figure out something else. I need the other receiver to test my speakers to make sure it's not just a loose cable or something. So testing is probably the most important part of figuring things out, because you don't want to do a bunch of work that you don't need to do, you know? Because when I did the soldering, I felt like it was good, but it maybe just I didn't clean it good enough or something. So, yeah, audio is complicated. It's complicated on a tech level, like electronics level, and then there's the other side of the complication, which is like the mixing. You know, you have to have good hearing, first of all. That helps, right? Good hearing helps a lot. And, you know, EQing, routing. If you can't follow like a path, audio is very complicated. In fact, being able to follow like a path of anything is one of the best skills you could probably develop and learn, especially as a streamer, because everything is somewhat connected somewhere, and so you need to figure out how things route. I'm like a routing master. If there's a master of something, it's like that. It's that. My room setup is absolutely insane. I think the majority of people would not be able to understand. I have to like double check because I kind of forget how things. I know where stuff's connected, and I can see it at each point in my head, but it is complicated. It's very complicated. So complicated. I have I always forget how many. monitors I have, even though I'm always looking at them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 monitors in my room. They're all hooked up in like crazy ways. I think this cable is, yeah, this XLR cable. I wish they sold shielded XLR cables. This one always runs up against something in my setup that causes like a high-pitched noise. But it's gone now, so. That's kind of, I thought it was my tinnitus. It's not my tinnitus. That's the problem with having tinnitus. You're like, wait, is that noise my ears, or is that coming from the mic? Okay. So, how did I get tinnitus? Oh, I don't know, dude. I got really sick in 2019. We still don't know what's wrong with me, but it's getting better. So, I was not a functional creature. Even now, I still have some symptoms, but I wasn't a functional creature. It's all good. Yeah, this goes on YouTube, so I try to keep it as PG-13 as possible. Although that word is probably acceptable. It's all good. I'm still gonna block it. Last week we had some F-bombs. I don't know. I don't know what happened to me. I got horribly sick for almost 2 years. It's still going on. But I'm much more functional with the symptoms at this point. It was hell. I have no other way to describe how bad it was. It was absolute hell. Don't do what I did and get that sick. Be very careful with your health, please. Because I felt like I was a very healthy person. I was very upset for a long time about not knowing what's wrong with me. Like if I had cancer, like in a weird spot, and it's like messing with because I was basically permanently dizzy. But it felt more like, didn't feel like dizzy like I was spun around dizzy. It just felt like my brain was overloaded. I just couldn't deal with my eyes were incredibly sensitive to light. Like I would go downstairs in the kitchen, big time brain fog. I would go downstairs and my family would have the kitchen lights on, and I'd be like, how are you guys standing this much light? It was like I had a constant migraine. All the muscles in my forehead and the sides of my head and my neck, everything was like being pulled on. It was horrible. It was hell. I thought, I can't live like this. Like it was horrible. So the good thing about it is because I don't know what did it, my diet, lack of exercise, lack of vitamin D, video games, like too much, like I was like cannabis. I don't know what did it. My weight, I don't know. I have no idea what happened to me. Hey again. That is actually a blessing in disguise in some way, because I had to fix everything. So like, I'm not, it changed me completely, because not knowing what's wrong, everything changes. Anything, right? So it was like, okay, I can't smoke weed. I have an allergic reaction to weed now. Actually, cannabis makes my skin hive up. Just rubbing cannabis on my skin. Think something to do with that. To be honest, it's the trigger. It's probably more like I screwed something up with my immune system, and I was smoking about an eighth a day, an ounce a week. Or no, an ounce a month. And I was just constantly smoking. I just lived smoking. I just smoked weed all day, before bed. I also probably wasn't sleeping right because of that. So I think I just like crashed my system entirely and created a weird inflammatory immune reaction, like somewhat like an autoimmune disease where I was just attacking my own body. My nervous system was bad. So it was mostly in my neck and my head and my ears and stuff. So I needed an MRI, but getting to a neurologist was impossible. Still is. So emergency room just said, "You have anxiety." Come on. They just don't. They're just like, "It's not an emergency. Go home." I'm like, this. If this isn't an emergency, I don't know what is. But yeah, so because I didn't know what did it, I changed everything. Diet, exercise. Hell, man, I even started flossing more. I now walk 2.5 to 3 miles every day. I eat carnivore. I drink electrolytes all day, a reasonable amount. I eat desiccated organs. I sleep on a routine. I have turned my entire existence around. Basically, I've lost. Well, since like desiccated organs is like they're beef organs in a I'm sure you can get them from other sources, but in a pill form because I don't want to eat liver and heart and spleen. So it's just like taking a vitamin version, like a pill version. So that's helped me the most. One of the things that's helped me the most is the desiccated organs. Some good nutrition in there, man. So I changed everything. Changed my nutrition. I've lost, since this happened, I lost 30 pounds since it happened, basically. I've gained about 10 pounds in the first 3 months after it happened because I was just like eating like crazy, trying to make myself feel better, and it didn't. And then I stepped on the scale and was like, this is going the wrong way, and I'm not getting any better. So I spent a year, 16 months or so just doing keto, and I lost about 12 pounds. Went off keto for a week, and I gained 5 pounds. So I was like 225. I was like, nope, not doing it, not worth it. So then I was feeling better at that point, but not all the way better. Just a lot better, but not. I was still very symptomatic. Just it wasn't as hellish. It was better. So I started eating carnivore. It was ketovore. I cheat on my carnivore diet, but only with like a little bit of ketchup with my eggs, and kimchi. Fermented foods. I'll eat fermented foods and ketchup, basically, like a keto ketchup. And some like cauliflower and crust things. It's not a lot of cauliflower, so like it's like a bread replacement, basically. That's mostly cheese and egg anyway. It's not a lot of cauliflower. So, and now I'm down to 199. So I'm out of 200 pounds. Now, the thing is, you all need to know, I used to be 300. 300 pounds. I've lost 100 pounds. Over 100 pounds. That's crazy. I can't believe I used to be 300 pounds, dude. No, I'm not anywhere near my goal. Yeah, thank you. That it is. It feels like I should feel better about it than I do, but I'm still frumpy. Yeah, I still have like this grippable waistline. You know, like I look better. I just look like a thinner fat guy. I don't like resumes. Personally, I'm not a resume person. I haven't had a resume since like 2009. I don't like resumes because I don't like working for people who need them. Fuck Sorry. Oh, see, like, okay. That wasn't the F word. I said, pluck. I'd rather be self-employed. I'd rather live in my car than work that makes someone else rich. My problem is not that I don't have any skills. Obviously, I have a ton of skills. Okay, that's more my problem. I don't know. Which one do I use? I'm almost. Also, my resume is like, if I were to really make one, it would be like 12 pages. It's too long. You know, my skill set, and most employers don't believe I exist. So it's really hard to sell like the truth. Employers don't want somebody like me. They want somebody who will just that knows just enough to do a task, but not enough to like show them how to change the task so it's better or improve their business. Or I'm not employee. I'm not an employee. I've never been good at being an employee because when I've been employed, I get the job done too quickly compared to everybody else. I get everyone else's work for the week done in one day, and then I have nothing to do for a week, and they don't like that. They don't want that. They don't want problem solvers. That's why I make websites and do graphic design and stuff and work for myself. It's just I'm not really that employable. I'm better off running the company, and being the boss, even though I don't want to be a boss. It's better suited for me. So, but I don't want to run a company. Not really. IQ is the closest thing to running a company that I'll do because it helps people, and I like helping people. But I don't care. I don't care that much about money. I like people and things. Money's helpful because it lets you eat and have people and things in your life. But money's not my goal. Success is more my goal. I'd rather be successful. Now, money's obviously tied with success, but I don't aim for money. I aim for success, which is marketed as a marker of many things. Success can include things outside of money, but you guys know what I'm saying. So, right now, personally, the thing I'm working on most is my music. I'm just going to be completely dissatisfied with existence until I'm healthy enough, able to play my music live on a stage again. I need that back in my life. I need to feel good enough to do that. I'm getting close, I think. I'm getting pretty close. I wasn't even sure I would get here, to be honest. I was so bad that I was like, I don't know if I'm ever going to feel good again. So, I call a lot of things I'm doing already success. IQ is a success because it's helped people. So, yeah, it's being a bit. I know COVID. At first I'm gonna start on my channel on Twitch, my Twitch stream. I've been trying to figure out what to do with my Twitch stream, because I'm not really. I love games. I love gaming, but I just don't want to sit there and play games. I don't. So here's what I think I'm gonna do. I think I'm going to first. I'd really like to play my music live on my channel, just to kind of get an idea of. No, I don't need any of that. For me, it's just about the emotion, the expressing myself through my music, putting my music out there, seeing how people react to the live performance of the music. Because I have no idea how people react to my music when they listen to it on my website or on SoundCloud. And the versions I have up right now are like rough drafts, right? I have a few months to finish the album. It'll be done in a couple of months. It's in pretty good shape considering it's a rough draft and it's got some bad things that need to be fixed on each song. But it's not like I have to redo the entire song. There's one song I might redo. just because I'm not sure if it's too slow. So, I'm figuring all that out. But music's the thing that's, I think, for my stream. Plus, I have a ton of old recorded music from when I was in bands with The Best Jared, Feckless Man. Is that everybody? No one else was on Twitch that was in the band, right? I hope I'm not forgetting anybody. What kind of music am I into? Oh boy. Dude, I love so many kinds of music. It's nuts. It's not even funny. It's not even funny. It's easier for me to tell you the music I don't like than it is to tell you about music I like. Like my Christmas gift from my family, which was nice, is a turntable. So I got a turntable right there. Collecting some albums. I had some albums already because I used to have a turntable, but in the divorce I gave it to the ex, so she got most of the albums. So I'm kind of trying to recollect. So what kind of music do you guys like? I like everything. All right, music that makes me dance. There's a lot. Like an album I absolutely have to like, makes me dance, like forces me to dance. The Mortal Kombat motion picture soundtrack. That album is just so good. It's so damn good. I can't help it. I cannot help it. I love KFMDM. I love all the bands on the album. Oh, dude, I love that album. It's so good. It's so good. Musical inspiration of my life. Seriously. Dude, randomizer. Super attract mode. Stop getting stuck. Okay. I'm going to run it manually. Sometimes that helps. Scripts. Stuck on one arcade game, man. Mr. Sam on. Up. Start. Okay. No, I'm not more into EDM. I just love it. That's my dance. That's my dance. You know? 9 Inch Nails. No, some music I just want to lay down and listen to. That's Tool, 9 Inch Nails. I love Killswitch Engage, Under Oath, Stavesaker. Stavesaker Speakeasy is so good. That is probably my favorite rock album, period. I listen to that on repeat forever. I got one CD in my car, and it's Stavesaker Speakeasy, and that's it. Asian Kung Fu Generation. Lights. I love Lights. She's so good. Hell, dude, I listen to Blackpink. KFMDM, you know, Kim, the best mode. Perfect Circle. So good. Yeah. Blackpink has a formula that's very repetitive. There's a few songs on actually the only one that I have on vinyl is the album. Well, I pre-ordered, it's not Blackpink, but Lalisa. I have the album. I just don't like, man, there's 2 tracks I just do not like. Which is sad. And I don't like the name of the album, but there's that too. I like pop, K-pop, rock. My acoustic album is, so the album I'm working on right now is an acoustic album that is just an acoustic. It's so that I wanted to write an album that I could take my acoustic guitar and go play live. So it's not like, I'm not really good. I can play guitar. I can record pretty much any guitar part, but I'm not really good at singing. and playing any kind of guitar. I can't sing and play like crazy guitar things. I can play some good guitar things. I'm very good at rhythm. So my lead is what suffers the most. I'm not even good at lead if you just want me to play lead anyway. More like good at writing riffs and playing rhythm. So I had to write songs on acoustic that I could play and sing at the same time, realistically. So I wrote a mostly drop D, melodic acoustic album. It's love songs. It's I know that this sounds cheesy, but it's where I'm at. I'm being honest with my existence, and I think it's the easiest way. It was one of the easiest ways for me to focus on healing and health. Finding love for yourself. Really, the album is about healing. It's about becoming the person who I didn't feel like a person I could be a good like partner. And in health wise, I felt like I was like very broken. So broken, in fact, that I would become a burden. And I didn't want to be a burden. So it's about healing. It's about finding love, falling in love, expressing love, finding comfort, and becoming the best version of myself possible. It's about those themes. So it's 9 songs that I want to get on Twitch and play and sing. Not on this channel, on my channel. Although I wouldn't mind once in a while playing you guys a song or something. Although it's so raw, like in here, like I'm not singing these songs to you guys, you know. You can hear them, but I'm like, if I'm singing them to someone, it's not you, unless you're out there, which you're not. So it's a little, I don't know, how do you guys feel about being live and like bearing your soul in your heart? Even through music, it like cryptically, it's scary. It's like so much easier to just put the mask on and play goofy, and it is genuine, but it's also scary. Like I was bullied a lot in school for nothing. So then, you know, if I give you a real part of me, that's even scarier, right? So it's a thing. But yeah, the other thing is I have a ton of recorded music. So I had a band with the best Jared and Feckless, man. Yeah, well, that's true. Being genuine is absolutely shocking and jarring. I try to. It's hard, dude. I'm trying. Even just this discussion makes me start to feel like I'm not being as genuine as I should be. Because it's very easy to just feel embarrassed, and instead of feeling good about what'd she say? Beauty is confidence and attitude coming together. I have to remind myself of important things like that. Be beautiful. Confidence shouldn't be like a forced thing. It should be genuine. And that's so hard. It's so much easier to just pretend confidence than it is to be confident. Take those deep breaths and be that confident person. You put the version of you on stream that you think everybody will accept. I mean, you do that at the grocery store too, probably. The real me walks around talking to myself, talking to daydreaming, imagining things, talking in situations that aren't real. Bearing your soul isn't always needed. Yeah, that's true. That's definitely true. Being on a stream is weird, man. Just being in front of other people is also weird, I guess. Well, I need to do it because if I want to get where I want to go, I really think the only way I'm going to get to where I want to be is to play my songs, play my music. There's a few things that I feel like I have to do, check off in my life in order to be successful. One of them is this, is IQ. It's turning the IQ streams on, talking to you guys about stuff. Just this. The podcast, these conversations, the YouTube videos. This is important to me. This, I don't see not doing this. At least right now, it's important to me. Then the next thing that's important to me is music. Being able to write, record. Oh, dude, you guys didn't tell me my title. I mistyped it. The Infinite Quality is missing an L. That's hilarious. This keyboard, though, it'd be due. This mechanical keyboard mistypes all the time. I should blame it on myself, not the keyboard, though. I probably just typed it wrong. Yeah, I want to be able to play my music, produce music, write and record music. So I have a ton of, I've tried to say this like 3 times, so I'm so all over the place today. Oh my God. I have a ton of music with a band from like right out of high school for Jared. Playing postmodern hardcore rock music. Postmodern hardcore rock music. That's a mouthful. We have recordings that we did ourselves from like the year 2001 and on for almost 10 years straight. And there's another band after that one that was a smaller project that was shorter lived, but we did record the songs. What I want to do is go back. So when I'm not performing, I want to go back on stream. I'm all over the place today. I can't even finish any thoughts. It's because I'm just thinking in a fluid fashion right now. I want to like reproduce, remix, remaster, maybe even re-record anything that absolutely would need it. Parts for those songs. But I want to try and keep the old stuff as close as possible to the original recordings and get them sounding as good as I possibly can. And kind of just release that stuff out into the wild. Although Jared's going to hate that. You guys know the best Jared and how much he hates his old recorded voice. But we should all... My guitar playing's not perfect. Bud's drumming isn't perfect. None of us are perfect. That's not the point. It's, a memory. And we should just get it to where it could be. Then I would like Feckless Man, since we live so close together in the same city, I want to get my drums and my recording set up back together in the garage so that he can come over and we can re-record all the songs with our new, most best case scenario equipment. I've got better amps. My drum set I've upgraded and tweaked over the years, even this year. So re-recording all that music on Twitch would be fun. I think, and then spending time mixing and mastering those songs would be fun. Fun little project for Twitch. And then maybe once a week or once a month. I don't know. That's what I'm not sure. I could play my original music, like play a set, like do a show, and then hopefully go do some live shows out in the wild. Once COVID is dealt with and over, maybe we'll all end up with Omicron and it'll be over with. So, yeah, I'd like to go play some bars. Hey, Oberlinks. The other thing I want to do with my stream is buy and repair and upgrade old consoles. Like PlayStation, mod it for X Station, and then give it away. So do like retro console giveaway stuff. That's what I want to do. So that's kind of my goal with my channel. I'm not really going to be playing video games on my channel. I'm just going to be playing music, and doing some retro. If I do any gaming, it's going to be retro gaming. I don't even know if I'm going to do that, to be honest. But I would like to maybe like once a month as a community reward. If I can get to a certain tip goal, I can take that money and invest it in the mods and stuff, right? That would be cool. So yeah, we can fix your cam. That's what I'm here for. I'm just gabbing. I'm just talking about whatever at this point because you guys don't have like direct streaming questions yet. This is just like an open text section. Hold on, I'm muted in Discord. You hold your horses. My back injury is not fun on this chair. Okay. Let me finish my thought from earlier. You guys are all BRBing, so I'll just assemble my thoughts in my head. So the most important things for me are this IQ, music, and learning to speak Korean. Wow. I think that's really important to me. I need to get this down. I don't know why. I just know I do. I'm getting better at hearing it, but speaking it is another thing entirely. All right, I'll unmute so we know.
All right.
Hello.
Yeah, I looked.
Oh, he's on a phone call. I'll wait for him to tell me in chat. I wonder why the mister keeps freezing. Yeah, it's all good. You tell me when you're ready. Dragon's Eye. I hope this doesn't get stuck on this core. The super attract mode. You know what? Maybe I should run the updater script. Let's try that. I'm just gonna go into update all and turn on the the section. Mr. Sam files, yes. Save and run update all. Yes. Alright, maybe if we update the Mister, we'll find out if maybe something's weird with my config file on the SAM super attract mode for Mister. Ugh. Turn this back on. So, yeah, if you guys are out there and you have any questions about, your tech, you want some help, I'm going to help Oprah with this camera. I don't know what's wrong with this camera. He's got green hair, apparently. I'll try to fix it in a way that is helpful for everyone to kind of get an idea of why he has green hair. But I'm telling you, the majority of you just need to invest in lights and get it over with. Okay, over. I'll unmute. You mute the stream. Hello, sir.
Hey, what's up, man?
Okay, so why do you have green hair?
What?
Why do you have green hair?
I don't know. Did you dye my hair? I think you dyed my hair.
You think I dyed it? That's not fair.
Yeah, you came into my house and dyed my hair. Jacket.
So, you need some hair dye to fix it back.
Yeah, I need some.
That's how you fix it.
Some anti-green. So I'm still on a conference call, but we're on a half-hour break. I just want to let you know that. So that's why.
We can fix it in like 5 minutes, I bet.
You think so?
You want to screen share? Do you mind being on the stream?
I don't care.
All right, you screen share.
Okay. All right, that's fine. Hang on, let me switch my screens around. Let me turn my lights on. Oh, I love Bayonetta. See, Sonny, every time I find something new about you, I like you even more.
My wallpapers are all over the place.
Dude, I love that. Like, legit. Hang on, I'm waiting for
this
my
screen
Elgato.
just happens to be Bayonetta.
I'm waiting for my Elgato light to find the network. Sometimes it loses it. There it is. There we go. All right. You want to screen share?
Yeah, how else am I going to fix your green hair? I need to be able to see.
Okay. Face reveal on IQ.
Oh, there's a lot of Jotego cars. Jotego.
Hang on,
Jotego.
All right, here we go. Do you just want it on the 4K cam?
I want it on the green, the one that's green, so we can try to fix.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Yeah, I don't want to see a different camera. How am I going to fix?
No, I'm saying on the OBS part of it. I didn't know what scene you wanted it on, so yeah, that's what I meant.
Well, just share your screen instead of OBS, and then you can switch to whatever.
This one.
Just make sure you got, clothes on.
I do. I'm at work still, ish.
You're at work in your computer room.
Yeah. I'm on a conference
Technically, I think that's what I'm doing right now.
Yeah, well, I was at work, but I was like, shit, I want to go home and get Sunny to fix my green hair. So, in the middle of the conference call, I drove home and got back on the conference call when I got here.
All right, I'm gonna pop out your.
All right.
Of course, hold on.
Okay, you just need to see my OBS, right? I can't, hang on, I gotta move this stream over here. There we go. Do you want it bigger? Smaller?
No, you're good. So it's only slightly green.
Yeah.
But your skin tone is wrong, so it's a white balance.
Oh, okay. I lose.
White balance. You got a white piece of paper?
Teresa, go get me a piece of paper. Oh,
Yo.
hang on, maybe I have one right here. Yep. Oh my God. I yelled at the kid to get me one.
Right, so you want to hold it next to your skin, get your skin tone right, and make the piece of paper as white as possible at the same time. But you got to open the AverMedia software.
Oh, AverMedia software.
The cam engine. Yeah, and go to the video tab. Go to advanced. Then instead of auto white balance, yeah, you want to slide that so that your skin tone looks right and the paper looks very white as possible. So now you're very orange. It's better on that side. That's too blue. To go a little bit more to the blue. Just a touch. A little bit more. Like, right, 20, 25 maybe? Negative 25? How does that look on your end?
On the cam media?
Are you
Yeah,
less green? Is your hair less green?
It's less green. I think it's still got green in it. It's definitely less.
I think that's just your lighting is reflecting you need light a hair light so that you can.
That was the point of this thing right here.
Well, a hair light needs to go like top down, like pointed at your top of your head.
Oh, and downward?
Yeah.
Now it's bouncing off.
So what's happening is the green screen lighting is bouncing off the green screen and hitting your hair.
Oh.
So it's green light from the screen is reflecting onto your hair.
Okay.
Your hair is shinily picking up the green from the screen.
Does shinily.
Shinily.
Does that mean I have to. Yes, Jen. Move this light closer or move it down?
Or turn it up. So you just need more front light on your hair to kind of wash out the green reflected light. Again.
Jen always picks on me. Not very nice. Not here.
You think everyone's picking on you.
I know. I actually think I would
that now it's a little bit too much light, but your hair is no longer green.
Alright, so we go back down to
It's
60.
slightly green, but this camera is so much more detailed that it's picking up the reflection of the green screen behind you.
I can't win.
I mean, it's not that bad, dude.
It's not.
Like, minimize this and look at it in OBS. You could turn up the color spill reduction just a touch. What that'll do is take the green out.
Turn it up.
Yeah, I don't like using it at all, though, to be fair. I like having...
Yeah, I think it was on 1 when I had it before.
Like, turn it all the way off, and let's look at it. It's not even doing that much to begin with, so...
Yeah, it's not.
I think that's better. You're less green. But see how your chair still has that green? It's from the color spill.
Oh, is that where that's come from?
It's the reflection of the light bouncing off the green screen. So the lights on your green screen, you can turn them down.
Okay.
You've probably got too much light on the green screen. So you get less reflected light. You basically want... This is why I suggest those floodlights that are green for lighting your green screen. Because you can use less green light to light the green screen. And then it also gets kind of absorbed into the cloth rather than reflected. White is going to get reflected much harder than the green will. See how there's still like a green edge on your chair?
Yeah. So you want me to bring the down light, right?
Bring them down until that's gone. I mean, I can see it getting affected, but it's not looking better. And now I'm starting to see your screen showing up because the lighting is going on. It's more intense on the top than it is on the bottom.
Yeah.
How close is that green screen to you?
About 3 feet behind me.
It's it's enough room that it shouldn't be reflecting that much. It's very strange. What color?
I mean, I can turn my other light down. I have a right and a left backlight.
But turning them down is making the green screen worse. That's the problem.
Yeah.
So what color temperature are they? Like sun colored?
6K. 6K.
I don't have the spectrum memorized. Is it the sun color or is it the bright white?
It's like the bright white.
Try the sun color, but you'll have to set all of your lights to that. Try warm white and see if it has less of a reflective bounce. But then you'll have to re-white balance your camera. because you're gonna be very orange.
So we're gonna go down to 2900K. I can't fix that light. Shit, that one's at 6K. I can't do it. I can turn it off.
You can't change that one.
No, the one on the left I can't change.
Oh
It's,
well, then you gotta
it's an
you gotta
old
have
light.
to use white bright then.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, you're stuck if you can't change it.
Yeah, that's the only one I can't change. I've talked.
Then you're
about
gonna have to live with a little green outline. Unfortunately, your life is a green outline.
My life is a green outline.
Or instead of using the green screen chroma key, you use the built-in
Avermedia.
the
thing?
Avermedia background remover, which is not going to be always perfect either. It's kind of you got to pick your poison here.
You gotta pick my poison. Where's the green? I'm kind of curious to see how it plays out. Like,
You're gonna have to create a login to use it. That's why it's locked. So if you're gonna do that, you can do that now. If not, you gotta live with the green.
gotta live with the green.
I
he
wish
says.
this light. It's not this one, right? It's this one. This one was big
Yeah,
ass
that's good.
shiny forehead spot. All right. Does anybody else need any help? Have any questions? Do you have any other questions?
Me?
Yeah.
No. I think I'm okay.
Well, fix your lighting. Turn them back up so that your green screen works right.
I'm working on it.
But yeah. Wow, there was a lot of updates. It's
Maybe,
actually taking a while. Dude, the price of the Mister is so much higher now. I can't believe it.
What? They went up? It's
When I bought it was
$300?
$330, and now it's $400
Uh-oh.
because of the chip shortage. It's nuts.
Dude, that's crazy.
Yeah, it actually is.
Alright. Well, is this gonna bleed?
It's fine when you're small.
Yeah, that's what I was checking. Okay, so there's a little problem on the left, but nothing.
You need more light on the bottom. Hey, Sky. How's it going?
There we go. Give it a little bit more blast here.
Or you need to aim the light like down. What is up? He's just going. Yeah, we're fixing overlinks, green screen reflected light. So like if your lights, his problem is that he's lighting his green screen from in front of him. So what he really needs to do is his green screen lights need to be put like only on the green screen and not on him and not in front of him. So it's causing, he needs to turn them up so bright that it's causing a bunch of reflected green light off of the green screen. Really, like, positioning your lights is super important if you want it to be perfect. So yeah, I can still see your green screen on that bottom corner. Really, what you need to do is get those lights behind you or on the sides of you so that they're only on the green screen. You really want to just use lights to light the green screen only, unless you're going to use like giant soft boxes that are.
Well, I have it. That's what I have on the left. Is a big, huge soft box.
Which is why that side doesn't have a problem. But it's still not a good idea. You still need to you still need to control it and like aim them in the right direction and stuff. You're way better off using these little $20 floodlights. Like, what you should do is grab these $20 floodlights and just throw them on the floor next to you so you can light the bottom of your green screen with green light. So you can even out the lighting.
The lighting. Those are that $24 ones, right?
Yeah, you get two for like $25. I'm not into the green screen thing anymore myself. I might if I ever need it for like if I'm gonna do Sunny Machine like fun effects on my stream, which I don't think I'm gonna do. That season seems to be over. But if I ever do, I still have the setup. I'll just use the AverMedia like background removal stuff. Like I can just, and it's gonna freak my computer out opening it. But I'll just do this. Ugh, where did it go? It's killing my processor. It does. The window hates to be moved. I'm gonna have to close it, which is gonna kill my camera. And then reopen it. And hope to get it back. Hope it comes back. Oh, nope, see it crash. This is they need to update this AverMedia camera software so it doesn't do this. I think if I unplug the camera, it will have an easier time opening for some reason.
Yeah, that's doable. That's doable. There we go. That's doable. And there's still a little bit, but I can fix that. That's just moving some stuff around.
AverMedia camera's over. Come back.
Why? Hey, you know what? I did find out that if you shut the app off, like completely close it out, it does actually cool the camera off.
Oh, really?
I leave mine plugged in, but you gotta make sure that tray icon's gone.
Okay.
It's gone. Get it out of there.
I think I have to switch my camera over to like the direct source mode because I can't get the software to open. Let me just check Task Manager real quick.
Sword.
I love Sword. The software is pretty good most of the time, but when it breaks hard. This is why putting your hands. We were just talking about this on the podcast. Putting your stream in more and more software. It's just not a good idea.
Yeah, no, I've never liked software stuff because one, it gets buggy, and two.
That's why the Go XLR is a problem. That's why this camera is a problem. You gotta pick your poison. I think camera.
I like this camera.
Camera for $150 or even 100 or 200 is fantastic. It's just, dude, my whole computer is acting funny. Like my Task Manager won't open the tabs. There we go. Detect balloon. What? Cam engine. End process tree. End process tree. End process tree. Let's try that again. It says it's running, but I can't get it to like show up in the system tray. That's sad. I might have to go direct.
Cam engine?
Yeah. I might have to go direct. I'm not going to restart my computer, so I might have to go connect direct camera to OBS to fix it for now. I'm troubleshooting it longer than I would if it was like not a stream about trying to fix problems.
Got problems on the tech stream.
I mean, I really just... What is detect balloon? I've never even seen that before. AverMedia.
It's definitely a Windows. There's a problem within Windows. You might have a pending update somewhere. Did you?
No, the detect balloon has got the AverMedia icon. That's what's weird about it.
Oh, well, I know the balloon is the notification like?
No, in Task Manager, it's literally called
Oh.
Detect Balloon. I'm determined to get this software back open.
He is. He's gonna make it happen.
I wonder if there's like one other like weird random thing that's needs to be shut off to make it work. AAC Kingston, I don't even know. ADB.exe. Alright. One more shot and then I'll hook my camera direct up.
Now, what's the disadvantage of that? Is you have to use OBS to make the settings.
Yeah. Can't use the virtual cam software business. I've never had this not relaunch. This is the first time I've had Cam Engine.
Like, just say, F it.
Yeah, it's like the task icon won't even show up. Try one more time. Unplug and plug the camera in is usually the trick, right?
Right? Absolutely.
Well, you know what? You know what I should do probably is disconnect the camera in deactivate the cam engine.
Oh.
Okay, let's see. Wow, I can't. What? I'm really shocked right now. It's I did. I became a camera icon.
He's not only just any camera icon, but the best camera icon. What are you looking at, Doc Martin?
Doc Martin.
Yeah, not.
Oh wait. Maybe OBS
Damn
is.
shoemaker now.
Wait. What? Wow, wait. I can't get this thing to like disappear. Is it OBS that's broken?
I would think the stream would end if OBS is broken.
No, something else is weird because I can't update the camera source in OBS.
Oh, you've got something else going on.
Yeah. Is the stream still going?
Yeah.
My OBS is not responding. It is acting very, very funny. I know, I'm just, I can see the BRB, but my OBS is frozen. It says not responding. And I got that white outline like it's going to crash. I'm going to probably just go, it'll probably do the disconnect thing and then I'll fix it. I'll bring it right back up.
All right, well, I gotta bounce, Sonny.
All right, dude.
I'll stay in the chat for you, buddy.
All right, have
Thanks
a good
for
one.
attempting to fix my
It's
my
it's
green
as fixed
hair.
as we can get it.
I know.
Yeah, I gotta close OBS. I'm gonna have to crash it. All right. Everything started working once I crashed OBS. Everything came back. So it was actually a problem with OBS. It was not the Avermedia cam engine. OBS just happened to like freak out. So what are you gonna do? Free software. Now my question is, what happens if should I break it again? Should we try to break it again? Did that break my camera? I'm going to turn on the UAC virtualization and see it on Cam Engine. And I just want to see if that helps at all. But yeah. Okay, does anybody have any questions now that we're back? Streaming topics, questions, or should I ramble? Yeah, as soon as OBS crashed, everything started working again. Like the cam engine popped back up. So, yay! But I lost all of my beauty. Everybody's having OBS crashing issues? That's just it's such a generalized like issue that it's kind of hard to advise. It could be a plugin, could be other software that just, OBS has to talk to. Could be anything. That's sad. It's sad. Whenever I know some things, like I know how to fix some really obscure issues with OBS, but they're very specific. Like my frame rate was at 46 instead of 48, or instead of 60 it was like 52, and it wouldn't go above 52 while streaming. It would be at 60 while I wasn't live, but then as soon as I hit start stream, it would tank, or in some cases it would just never reach 60. It would say 60 and then would drop down to 57, 53, and it would just hover. And that actually turned out to be a missing file connected to a filter. So I was using an image mask blend filter, and the file location had changed on the file. So the image mask blend filter was constantly trying to attach itself to a file that didn't exist, which tanked OBS's performance for some reason. So it's really important to keep your files highly organized, that any files you're using in OBS, so that, and this is one of the benefits of using a browser source, is this won't happen. But you can't use a browser source for everything. So making sure every single filter is attached to an actual file that is in a proper location. You really, file organization is huge. It's key to any video production, any kind of production, audio production, video production. Most audio production, digital audio workstations will do all the file organization for you. Whereas with video, that's not true. Video, because most digital audio workstations, your files tend to be recorded and produced and mixed and mastered all in one place. You don't typically go to a different program. Sometimes you do, but you don't typically go to another program and then need to move the files around. Like if I'm going to record a song, I'm going to just open Cubase and record directly into the program, and it organizes everything inside of Cubase. if I were to go record and use a different computer to record drums, like in my garage, then I would be in charge of file organization. I'd have to make sure that I take those files in the project together to the next computer for editing and production. Whereas video, you typically, like if you're going to make a YouTube video, you got to record all the footage. And then you got to take all the footage and put it onto your computer. If you drop them onto just the desktop and then open Adobe Premiere and drag them in and then try to do a bunch of editing, and then you make your YouTube video and then you delete your files off your desktop, and then you go, oh shoot, I forgot to put this in the video. I need to re-upload this video. And you go to the project file and you go to open it. It's going to be completely broken. It's going to not know where all your footage is because you put it on the desktop and then deleted it. This is why if you download stuff, do not use stuff in your downloads folder to connect to OBS. If you download something, you want to copy it to a proper folder location. Keep yourself organized and keep your files in the same place so that OBS knows where they all are. I had this problem because I was transferring computers. So I was transferring from an older Stream computer to a new Stream computer, and then some of that stuff from this computer, which was my main computer, to the new main computer, and the new main computer, the file structure was different, right? Because it was like in my documents on a different letter drive path. The drive is in this computer, but it's like E instead of G or something like that. And so OBS couldn't connect to it. And I had these filters on a lot of layers where it was misconnected. So until I fixed them all, it took me hours to figure this out. I was like deleting scenes, and I made a duplication. I'm like going through and I'm like, okay, deleting all this source, delete this source, until the problem disappeared. I'm like, okay, it's this source. What's with this source that's breaking it? Then I go into the source and look at the filters. And I'm like, oh, this is missing a GIF, right? So, file organization. Be organized. If you want to be a streamer, you got to be organized. Long term, you can kind of be messy when you first start, but as you kind of level up and change what you're doing with your stream, you're gonna run into issues where it's not. You're gonna want to improve and update things on your stream, and it's just not gonna be. It's gonna be a mess. So stay organized, friends. That's some good advice. That should be this whole episode. Stay organized. It's the worst when you can't find something you need to find. Maybe the update fixed super track mode. Hopefully. This seems to be running okay. I had to get really good at file organization because I'm as self-employed and you have clients and you're making YouTube videos for them, you have to deliver the final product, but you also need to deliver the project to the client, typically. At least in the projects I was involved in, a lot of them. So I would need, when the project was over, I would need to be able to hand them a hard drive so they could open the project and make any changes later that they wanted to without an issue. So it needed to be so highly organized that it was self-contained. And some of these projects, we're talking about 120 gigabytes of video footage or more. Ugh. It could that can become a headache too. That's one of the reasons I stopped doing video production was my clients sometimes, even in university, like I would get like yelled at, or people would be like mad at me or upset with me for something I had no control over, that a mistake they made. And I'm like, are you kidding me? Like, I don't deal with clients that get upset with you for their mistakes. I don't care who they are. That's just like ridiculous. So, like they gave me this giant project. It was massive, and there was all these fires that year, so everything was delayed. Like all the filming. So we only had a couple of weeks between filming to get the final edit done. and I got all the talking head shots. This is a very long video too. It was very long. I think the final video was, I don't know, 12 to 15 minutes. And it was a bunch of footage of different people talking. I should look it up, but it doesn't matter. There was no B-roll. They were supposed to supply all the B-roll. And so what they decided to do was to upload it to like Dropbox? All the B-roll to Dropbox. So it was a Friday. I said, I need the B-roll. They said, we're going to send you a link to download it. I said, okay. Like Friday at 4 o'clock, right before they're like leaving for the day, I get an email saying, it's uploading now. You can download it when it's done. It should take a few hours or something. So a couple of hours later, I went to check and I downloaded the B-roll. I had to pull an all-nighter to make this project work. It was so stupid. So because of this problem, so I downloaded the B-roll and it was only 4 gigs of B-roll, and I'm like, this isn't enough B-roll. So I emailed everybody. I'm like, I only have 4 gigs. This isn't enough B-roll. Well, it turns out that their Dropbox account was like the free one, so they only had 4 gigs of storage on their Dropbox account, and they tried to upload all like 120 gigs or something of the B-roll, and they just set it to upload and then went home for the weekend. And I emailed them and was like, I don't have enough B-roll. This isn't enough. I don't know what to do. I need you guys to get me the footage. And so instead of I used what I had, I filled in like copy and paste just the same B-roll throughout the whole thing. And then I said, I get that nobody responded. So I said, okay, I'll work on original music. We need music for the project. So I recorded like 5 short songs to kind of use throughout the edit, and put that in, sent them that draft, and they got mad at me because there wasn't enough B-roll. And I was like, I know there's not enough B-roll. You didn't send me any more. No apologies. Just like, oh, it looks like there's only 4 gigs up there. Yeah. Thanks. Thanks for figuring that out. I got this long like lecture email about how I shouldn't have worked on audio, and I should have spent more time on the B-roll and all this stuff. Like, okay, dude. I did everything I possibly could to make this project work, and then I had to pull an all-nighter because they brought me the final draft was due Monday or Tuesday or something. I think it was Tuesday, and they brought me the footage on Monday on a hard drive. They drove over to my house, gave me the hard drive to finish the edit, and I was like, okay, thanks. Now I can do it. I got it out. I got it done. It was an insane project. Insane. I had to pull an all-nighter. All night. I stayed up all night editing and putting it in and fixing and sending and fixing and sending. So, want to be famous? Everyone click on that link. Please don't. Don't make that mistake. Want to be famous? Do you want to be famous, dog? It's a bot. What are you going to do? It's not no use in yelling at the bot. No use at all. Are we done? Should I have just ended the stream when OBS died? Do you guys have any other questions? I'm fine with this. This is it for the day. I need to take my time with my weekend. I could tell you about my new vinyls. I got No World for Tomorrow, Coheed's album today. It sounds so dang good. Super Mustache Soup. Chicken. I can't do the beans. I can't do the rice. I could do cauliflower rice though. We could substitute that. I could probably put a little bit of beans in. Just a little bit. Onions are fine. Caramelize them onions. Oh yeah, let's do that. Tomatoes are fine. I gotta find a substitute for those beans. Sorry about that. And the cauliflower rice, I have to live with that. I don't miss. Actually, I could do the hearts, the heart of palm rice. It's pretty close. It would be great in soup, actually. It would be lower, I think. It would be easier on me to do the heart of palm rice than the cauliflower rice. Carrots, I could do a little bit of carrots. They're still really high in sugar. It's the problem. So, nah, I'm good. I don't need the inflammation. I don't need the insulin response. The heart of palm rice in soup is really good. And there's pasta. The heart of palm pasta is super good too. So if you're looking for like low carbs alternatives, yeah, the heart of palm, palmini, that's what it's called. Cauliflower rice obviously is fantastic substitute as well. So, but I'm staying away from that stuff. Mostly, I have enough of it in my diet right now. So, I've been fighting with the scale the past 8 days or so, because I hit 199 and I was super excited, and then next day it's 200 again, and then 200, and then 200, and 200. Today again 199. Finally back down. So just gotta keep trusting the process. I have a feeling that these. I hope I'm wrong. Yeah, wine's okay, but it's also toxic. So I don't want to put. I'm not gonna do it. You can do it. It's your body. You do what you want. But I don't drink. I don't need it. I got no need for them. So dry wines are usually fine. So you just gotta be careful, not the sweet ones. And you get blasted when you're on this diet on just a tiny bit. Tiny bit. Like a little bit of alcohol goes a very long way. So, because your liver doesn't have a bunch of stored sugar and it's processing things differently. So it processes the alcohol faster, and you get super blasted off a tiny bit. So, nah, it's not for me. I don't need it. I don't need any of that. I just need to feel good, man. I just want my life. I just want to be able to live my life like a normal human being, which means I can dance and play music and sing all the songs. You guys want to watch me sing songs on my channel? Or will no one show up for that? Probably not as many people as I'd want. You want to watch me sing? Yeah, and until not I'm not that worried about you guys not liking my songs, my music. I'm pretty confident in my voice, my abilities to sing and play, but I'm still nervous about it. I'm still like, will you like it? Not even you. It's not really you. It's like, it makes it easier actually thinking this way. It's that one person that is most important, that she likes it. That's true. Quad has a lot of fun on stream. I used to do stuff like quad, but I'm probably more likely not gonna head that direction. I'm gonna. I might do some like jammy like songs and stuff, and I don't know. It's more serious. The music's gonna be more serious. Have a more serious tone. I mean, I wrote a love song album. It's not. I used to sing songs. I used to sing to chat. I used to sing the chat. That was kind of one of my hooks, is that I would sing the chat. So anything you guys said in the chat, unless it was TOS breaking, I would make it into the song. That would be the lyrics of the song. Sing the chat. That was fun. Sometimes those were good songs. But usually everybody gets embarrassed when I start it and stops talking. And chat starts to die because people don't want to say stuff. And I'm like, come on, everybody, this is your chance. Just say anything. Make me sing stuff. Don't stop. Well, I want to be able to play my set. Like reasonably, I think I'd need to at least play through 6 songs to like a live show. Like I need to emulate playing a live performance. I haven't seen Cobra Kai. I don't know if it's good, but there is a show you guys I'm going to recommend right now because it is going away on Netflix. It's not going to be watchable on Netflix like in a couple of weeks. Like it's going away on the 21st of December, I think. It's like a couple weeks out, right? It's called Save Me. I'm not even done with it. It is so good. So good. Save Me. It's a Korean drama. It's so good. It's so good. I can't believe how good it is. Anyway, Save Me. Look up Save Me. Incredible. It's going away. Watch it before it's gone. It's got some of the same actors from Vincenzo Casano. I couldn't with. I watched all of Hemium and it just. I enjoyed watching it until it was over, and then I didn't like it anymore. In retrospect, I don't like the show at all. You guys have no technical questions or concerns or streaming topics left, huh? Just got TV show topics. It's hilarious. You just want me to stick around? Well, Doc, you message me all the time with your own questions anyway, so because of our client relationship. So I know your questions are already answered. That's the problem. If people can't be here right now, it's fine. This is a new thing still that I'm doing. So I don't expect all of IQ or everybody to be here. I'm just here in case anybody's got questions. And to kind of re-naturalize myself to being on camera and being on stream, talking to people, gives me a chance. This is a very casual stream. This is a very casual thing. It's just here for whatever it's here for. And if people have any questions about streaming, then we can try to dig in. Are you sure it would take a while? It's one of my levels of expertise. So if it will take too long, let me be the judge of that. How about you just ask the question? I do have a degree in media production, which includes Photoshop and digital art and graphic design. It includes web design too, but not the kind that I'm doing now. I'm the kind I'm doing now is like way easier, way better than what they were teaching us in school. Ask. Don't wait. Do not delay. Act today. Otherwise, I'm going to sing the chat. You know what's funny? I'm not going to sing covers on Twitch, which is one of the reasons I don't really want to go back to playing music on Twitch, because everybody new comes in and says, "Can I request a song?" And I just don't want to sing covers. I just don't want to do it. I just don't want to learn them. I don't want to fill my brain with other people's music. I want to make my music. You don't go into, this probably sounds too egotistical or whatever, but you don't go into like Deadmau or Snoop Dogg and ask him to sing a fucking cover, right? Come on. Anyway, I'm not a cover artist. I'm not a top 40 bar singer. Alright, I'm working on alerts based on video of turkeys walking in a circle around a dead cat. I want the turkeys to look like they're walking around my face instead of the cat. 2 layers. And live? Like you want them to be doing it live? Is this a live effect or an edited effect? Oh, it's an alert. Just layer it. You just need to have the proper layers. So, you don't... So it's not really a photo editing question. It's more like a video production question. So you just want to have an animation where the turkeys are walking in the background, as a background layer, so that they come around. I guess they come around your head in the front, so that's the top layer. Then they just need to go behind your head, right? So you just need to edit it so that it's got 2 into those layers. The easiest way to do that would be if they're angled a little bit, so that when they're walking in the background, they're on top, and when they're walking in the foreground, they're on a little bit of a layer. Okay. So what you do is you would just cut it in half there, right? And make the background walking its own video cropped. So you could duplicate the video and just crop it down, and then to cut off where they're walking in the background, and then crop the front layer so the background ones are out, and the back layer so that the front ones are out, and then just sandwich them, put them back together so that it looks like the same video but it's 2 videos where the crop is happening, right? Does that make sense? Should I draw it for you? Yeah. Just create the effect by taking the video and making it into 2 layers so that you can just stick your head and just green screen yourself, or you could use black. Just make sure your eyes are lit enough that doesn't take the eyes out. Or you could create a mask, and then use a Luma key if you don't move very much, you could just use a Luma key to get rid of black. Green would be easier. If you don't have green, black's fine. Just use it. Try to create a mask around yourself. Okay, so if it's a still, then that's even easier, right? So you just cut it. You just edit out a transparent you and put it in between the 2 layers. Yeah. Easy. And it's funny because this Jeopardy thing is like a similar effect, right? You'd have the turkeys going around the head like this, and so you just recreate the video so that it's playing in 2 separate layers, one in front, one in back. So you just cut it at the horizontal axis, like crop straight across, you know. Easy. All right, Doc. Why the hell is your brain remembering how to do 10 years of not... Why the hell is my brain remembering how to do after 10 years of not animating? I don't understand that sentence. But what was your question, sir? Oh, it was before? My video was not corrupted, but in case it was, is there a way to recuperate a corrupted video? If you're recording an MKV, it will never be corrupted. Just record an MKV so that you don't end up with a corrupted video. MKV will not corrupt. Unless you're having like problems with the recording encoding process that's in the there's no way to fix a broken recording if it's in the original source material, like your camera's messed up or your GPU is messed up and the encoder is garbled or something. So MKV is your savior. Always record an MKV if you're recording an OBS, because MKV will not, if it crashes, like today OBS crashed. I'm not worried about that video footage being corrupted. Not at all. The other thing is I'm doing this live, so I could always download the VOD as a backup, a lower quality backup, but it's still a backup nonetheless. The recorded quality is going to be a little bit higher. I'd rather upload that to YouTube. The only pain in the ass at this point is that I've got to stitch the two sections of the stream together into one file, but that's just open a video editor and bring them in on the timeline, re-export. So not a big deal. MKV is the way to go. Do not record in H.264. Do not record in MP4. Always remux. So it takes moments to remux. It takes seconds to remux any file, reasonable file size. Even like a giant 8-hour stream won't take that long to remux. If you're ever working with a video editor and they're mad that you sent them an MKV, tell them that they don't know what they're doing and that you don't want to work with them anymore because they have obviously no expertise in their field of video production. Remuxing of MKV to an MP4 is such a basic task that if a video editor doesn't understand how to work with an MKV file, how to remux an MKV file, I would be very afraid of what their knowledge is. They may be okay with their editing and produce okay work, but you're going to end up with sloppy file saving and long-term relationship issues because these people are not, they're like only good at the one task. They don't really understand the scope of their work. So I would be very, very leery of anybody that doesn't understand file containers and encoding. MKV. People, I've had people tell me, oh, this guy wants to edit a video for me, but I have MKV files and he only wants MP4. I'm like, you can remux them for him, but he should just remux them. I mean, let's just install OBS and remux them. They're not that. This isn't a difficult task. What happens when you're like, when the guy wants to do an effect from a GIF that's not transparent? Like, you don't know how to remux a file? So, this is like one of those barriers where it's just like, do you want to work with a mechanic that doesn't know what a carburetor is? You know? Yikes. I have standards. You guys should have standards too. I hope you do. For your own sake, so you don't get headaches in the future. The amount of people that have come to work with me where I'm like, well, send me your branding. Send me your, what's your branding? They don't have it. Send me the previous files. This guy made this thing for me, but it's not very good. I want to make these changes to it. Can you do that for me? Yeah, send me them. I don't have the files. I gotta go email the guy and ask him to send them to me. It's like, oh, he doesn't have the files anymore. Well, then I can't do the work. What do you? Can you fix this photo of my grandma that I can't find? No, I cannot. That's not how this works. Yeah. Well, I have this. Well, that's a really low quality image. Now you want me to recreate something that somebody else already made for you that didn't save the files properly. A lot of people on Fiverr are better than that. They're more organized than that. Ay, ay. Sorry. I'll do my best to speak only in English. No, I won't. Why is this song in Japanese? Oh, my PlayStation was delivered. Should I go grab it and see? We can see what together if it's what kind of PlayStation it is? It's a PlayStation 1, but I don't know which revision. I want to see if it's moddable or not. Why shouldn't this song be in Japanese? It can be in Japanese. Why can't it be in Korean? And what's wrong with that? I was just wondering. It's Stream Beats, and he doesn't sound Japanese. I could be wrong. It was a very westerny, dialect of Japanese. He's like Boku wa. I just found it interesting that all of a sudden Stream Beats has Japanese lyrics. That's fine. I like Japanese music. I like Japanese music a lot. A lot. Alright, I'm going to grab the PlayStation. So, let's listen to the Japanese music together. This is in English and Japanese. I write songs in Korean. What are you going to do about it? I wasn't saying it's so negative. I was just kind of like shocked. That's all. I actually kind of like that it has Japanese lyrics, if we're being fair. I enjoy the multiculturalness. And Jeopardy looks like a core that just doesn't want to quit. Oh, something is triggering. All right, let me grab the PlayStation. We'll do an unbox reveal and we'll figure out.
Came up short today. Feels like I fell 1,000 times. Nothing but doubt to flood my mind. 'Cause sometimes it's hard to remember why I ever started racing with my dreams. A restless December, feeling
What kind of PlayStation? Okay, so I cut open the box. You're not gonna find your local IP address through that website. He's talking about his intranet IP, not his internet IP. Okay. Make sure we choose the right scene. You can ask Windows. I've already opened it because I don't want to accidentally show my address on stream. So here it is. I haven't opened it all the way. Man, this is great. I gotta save all this packing material. Goodwill always does such a good job. Let's check my invoice. That looks right. It's fine. Okay, so here's the Goodwill, the PlayStation I bought from Goodwill. There was no pictures of the version, the serial, the model, anything. It was just like a very basic photograph of the front of the system with controllers. So it came with DualShock. It's dirty and needs to be cleaned. Power cable. An original non-DualShock controller, which is great. It came with a memory card, which was great. And put some free McBoot on that business. No, I won't need that for this. Oh, this is interesting. It has a headphone jack style RCA plug. Please do not plug in the yellow connector to HDTV's AV in. Why not? Why does it have a stereo plug? That's really weird. It's like for a camera. Okay, moment of truth. Yes! Yes! So lucky. So lucky. SCPH. Do you guys see that? Do we need a magnifying glass in our life? 5501, baby! It's moddable! It's moddable! Only the 7 is a question. I don't even have to open it to know. I just want to know if it runs. I wonder if it runs. This is great. This means I can mod this with an X Station as our first giveaway. And I got this for like $40 with shipping. It was $10 shipping. It's like $30 for this console. Let's see if it works. That's so exciting. Holy crap. But look, why does it have this? This cable doesn't go to a PlayStation at all. It's not even like... And this is the AV multi-out. It doesn't even have the 001 like audio jacks and ports. I have one of those too to mod. I don't know if I'm gonna keep it for myself or what with that, but we'll see. But if this turns on, we're gonna be in business. Oh, it came with. It did. It fell out of the bag. It did come with. It just happened to come with like a weird RCA style. I don't have one of these cables. This is good. It's like the only cable I don't have in all of existence. That's perfect. Now I have one, but it won't work for the PlayStation. So here, this is the original RCA cables. I guess I could just hook it up to a RetroTink 2X and throw it right on the capture card. That's probably going to be the easiest thing to do. So we can test. So I got RetroTink. Okay. AV multi-out. Plug that in. We need power and... Okay, I'm gonna move my mic. HDMI. Let's just get a better view here. Huh? Okay. Okay, let's do that. Will it blend? Okay. All right. I need USB power. I can borrow you for the RetroTink. We need capture card, which I have right here. Okay. Power cable. Man, they always pack this stuff so nicely. Flex tape? No, I don't have flex tape. That's that patch tape where the guy slaps it on the container. Is that right? Okay. Let's pray this turns on, guys. Woo! This is gonna be great if this works. .001. Oh, it's already on. Oh boy! And this is on the wrong mode. It works. It works. I mean, it's composite shakiness. You know what? This capture card takes 480p apparently. I've never seen that no signal thing before. Yeah, does it read? Yeah, let's test everything. We got the controllers, even though they're gross. I'm definitely gonna have to take another shower after handling all of this. Let me turn it off. Okay. That's the RetroTink 5X. Let's test the memory card. And let me grab a game. Oh yeah. No, it's not that bad. Okay, let me kind of clean out the inside here. Let's get some. Let's get a lint-free Q-tip. Lint-free Q-tip. Get some rubbing alcohol. Clean the lens. Looks like the disc thing spins, which is good. It's not like all clogged or anything. We'll find out if the motor works in a second. Now, okay, let's just put a fan on here for a second to get it all dried out. It's really clean too, like considering the age. And it turns on, which is... I'm so stoked. Okay. Okay. So, Dino Crisis. Disc in. See this ugly ass composite signal. Oh, it didn't read the disc. It thinks the... It is not spinning. Well, it's perfect for a... It's perfect for a mod. For an X-Station mod. I can hear it trying to read the disc. It's trying. I think the motor needs to be fixed. It's slipping on. I actually have a replacement optical drive we could put in here, but I don't care, actually. I really just want to mod it for the X-Station. So this is... Oh, look, there's a piece of plastic right here. It's a little piece of plastic came off. Motor seems like it doesn't want to spin, right? So if I hold down the... Oh, Maybe it was just stuck on that piece of plastic. Maybe it'll work. Holding down the tray. Oh! It's loading! It's loading! It works! It was just a small piece of plastic was like keeping it from spinning. Oh, man. It works! It totally works! See if the controller works. We need sound. I don't have well, yeah, it wouldn't spin, so let's see. That's the cameras. Let's go to here. Is there no audio? I reversed the audio channels over there, but that shouldn't be keeping it. Yeah, I know there's no. I know. I'm wondering if the PlayStation's audio is borked, or if it's something else. I wish I could just try this with a SCART cable. You would think we would at least be hearing some. I haven't used this capture card to get audio before though, so I haven't tested the audio on this capture card. Okay, well the controller's start button works. The only way I'm going to know if the audio works or not is to use an audio extractor. Which I guess I could do. I have one. Let's just plug these right into... into my board. Unplugged. Okay. So, what we're gonna do is just to test. I only need 2 cables here. These are 2 RCA cables. It's gonna go into, let's do this channel, and I don't even need to connect them all the way. I just need to touch the leads like this. Touch the leads. Whoops. We have audio. It's the capture card. It was the it's like a capture card issue. It works. Audio works. So if I were to put it on the other end of my setup with RGB, it would work no problem. Sweet. It works. It completely works. Oh wait, no, you know what we didn't test though? I need to test the controller all the way. It's too bad that the audio doesn't come through this capture card. I thought for sure that this capture card's audio worked. I mean, theoretically it should work. I don't know why. Alright, let me, sorry for the audio here. Okay. I am seeing a signal. Maybe if I add it to as a mic. Can you guys hear that?
Okay, let's do this. I'll infiltrate the facility and occupy the control room on the first floor. I should have access to all the security systems from there. I'll contact you as soon as I've cleared the room.
I see a signal, but I'm not hearing it. Let's Oh, it does work. Oh, that's interesting. Why didn't... Hold on. So if I use custom device and then I monitor it. There it is. It does work. Okay, this card requires, this is good. I need to learn this. This capture card requires very specific settings. Also, who could play this? So it does work. Oh, the DualShock works too. Buttons feel good. It's just dirty. Oh, this analog stick is a little bit
This is some of your
screwy. I'm gonna have to fix that.
The brass is still warm.
Hell yeah.
These guards were shooting at something very recently.
This capture card requires you to choose
So who were they fighting?
This wasn't much of a
the
fight.
audio very
I don't think
specifically
these
in
guards did
OBS for it to
anything
work.
before getting sliced and diced.
But it does
Whatever
work.
they were shooting at came in through there, and ripped right through the steel fence.
Well, the hole is nice and clean. But I still say you could have done this.
Hell yeah, this is working, guys.
We still need to figure out what happened here. Continue to sweep the area.
Let's check the memory card. It's too long to get to a save point. We did it! It's working! That place, that composite jitter is insane. Don't be this way. Oh, memory card. Okay, well, it's loading right into the game every time. Let's see what's going on with this memory card. Yes. Okay, memory card. Alright, there's saves on it, so that means it's probably working. Frogger. Tekken. Super Puzzle Fighter. Somebody had some good games here. Wait a minute. The D-pad is acting strange. Oh, I think it's because it jumps like one. That's weird. If I turn the analog stick on, I lose the cursor. Okay. Well, memory card works. It is a working PlayStation 1 for $30. That's so good. $30. Working PlayStation 1. And I can mod it for an X station. It's not going to look as good on composite. So you're going to want to get like a nice SCART cable or something. I have a pretty good SCART cable. Retrovision, HD Retrovision cables too. Oh, you broke. You broke. Wow. I guess I have to put a different screw in here. Maybe I can glue you back together. Maybe. I was too rough with my mic. Sweet. This was a big score because I've spent like $50+ If I can get a PlayStation 1 working for $40, that's a good score, especially with controllers and a memory card. Oh, good. Oh, good. Wow. So we have our first console to mod. I'm going to mod this as a... I'll give more details and explanation, but I'll mod this, and then if we raise enough money, I'll do a giveaway. Not for IQ, but on the Sunny Machine Twitch channel. So, dang, dude. That's cool. Wow. What a lucky score. I've gotten them for that price without bidding. Actually, I should clarify that this was actually a not a bid. It was a buy it now. And the other ones that were working condition were like $70 with all this stuff. So it was a good buy it now price. Goodwill, man. Goodwill's a good place to try and snag some tech. If you guys are looking for old consoles, or you can just wait for me to fix one up and then send it to you. Dang, dude, it's so cool. I can't believe this came in today. You know what else I'm getting today that I'm a little bit excited about? A white Sega Saturn wireless controller. I have a black one. But I don't have a second player, and when Tacos comes to visit, inevitably, we play Sega Saturn games, and I have a Bluetooth controller. It's just a kind of a fuss to make work. It's better with an actual 6-button Sega Saturn controller. Because who wants to play Guardian Heroes with the wrong controller, even if it's a 6-button controller? It's just, I just want to make my life easier. Plus, you know me. You see all the controllers I have? I collect controllers. I have a controller collection issue. It's an issue. Should I just leave my RetroTink here? That was kind of handy. Maybe I should. Okay, let's unmonitor the audio before I forget. Oh, you know what? It may be because it's actually duplicated. That may be the problem. I'll just mute it for now. That's because we may want it in the future. But wow. Very nice. Look at that back here. What a score. Now I just need to get... So my hope is to give away like a bunch of good consoles. Right? Like Sega Saturn with an we could do a mode at some point maybe, but I think I'd rather do the Fenrir. I'm more of a believer in the Fenrir. It's more affordable. It's more realistic. X Station for sure. So my stream, we're gonna be doing stuff. We're gonna be doing it up. Do you guys have a collection of anything? Does anybody collect anything that would be like kind of beneficial for your stream? I wonder. Is there any? What do you guys have that's in your collection that your viewers might latch onto? Games, comics, amiibo. Nothing. All right, I'll be right back. I'm gonna use the bathroom too, and we'll see if there's any final questions or thoughts. This came away. Yes, I can't believe it's 5,000 this year. Perfect. I was so worried. I was so worried it was a newer one. Okay, friends. This is your chance, your last chance. Let me know if you have any questions. I'm gonna see. Let me know if you guys have any thoughts, any questions. I mean, this has been kind of a very relaxed, casual thing we got going on today. So I just want to make sure, give you guys the last chance to catch up. We've it's pretty. What time is it? It's about time to stop. Yeah. I also got to charge my watch. I was supposed to get a new watch today, but Amazon said it was undeliverable, whatever the hell that means. So that's fun. And then they tried to refund me. And then I'm like, no, send me the watch. I got a good price. I don't want to buy it at a higher price. Okay, how to fix you? Am I just screwed? Ha ha ha. Or should I try to reinforce this with super glue or hot glue? It still works. Hey, Hylian. I'm just here to answer questions and help people out if they need help. So, I'm trying to be available. You and I will catch up tomorrow for sure. I got a working PlayStation 1. I'm excited about it. I don't know if you were here, but I just unboxed it. I ordered it from. I took a risk. I bought it. It's not a huge risk. What kind of setup does an Mclassic need? Is this a serious question? It's plug and play. It's got 3 modes. First mode. Off. Okay. You don't have this situation yet. But you will have this situation in the future. Once you have a 4K monitor or a 1440p monitor, the Mclassic with the right monitor will go to 1440p and upscale to 1440p, which looks incredible. It looks fantastic. I could show you, but I'd rather just answer your question. The Mclassic, if you have for instance, I have a 65-inch, not this, but it's over there, LG CX. The 1440p does not work because, so it only wants to upscale to 1080p on my TV, which sucks. So in my setup, the Mclassic basically asks a question, what resolutions do you accept? And it's asking if it accepts 1440/60, and my TV says 1440/120. So the Mclassic doesn't want to send 60, doesn't want to send the signal. So it bumps it down to 1080 because 1080 is accepted. So in order to force the Mclassic to send 1440p to my TV, which will work with my TV, it will work, but my TV doesn't say, it doesn't have it like in the document, like the list. Every device has like a list of acceptable resolutions, and other resolutions also work, but they didn't put it in the TV's list. So the Mclassic is asking the TV if this resolution 1440p 60 works, and the TV is not answering yes. It doesn't have an answer for that. So the Mclassic drops it down to 1080p, which sucks because the Mclassic for the Switch looks incredible at 1440p. Incredible. So you want 1440p if your monitors can handle it. So I have what I had to do was get an EDD-ID emulator, which is a little box. I have a link to this on my website. Actually, I have an article I wrote up on my website about this. I'm going to make a video on it as well. That little box has the list of resolutions in it. What you can do is program it to have whatever resolutions you want, so that when the Mclassic asks the little box, what resolutions should I use? The box says 1440p, and then it works the way I want it to. Now, if I use the Mclassic on this LG monitor I have, I don't need that box because the LG monitor works perfectly. It has the 1440p 60 signal in the list. It's only because of my TV that it doesn't work. So, Your situation with the Mclassic, because it's 1080p, plug and play. You don't need anything else. The only time you need more is if you have a monitor that will accept 1440p but doesn't say, like my TV, that says doesn't have the proper information to make the handshake work between the devices. So that was a big roundabout confusion, but there is some specifics with the Mclassic that people should know about. I'm going to make a YouTube video about this whole thing. I've been trying to organize my thoughts around it and I want to make sure, I'm trying to figure out if I'm going to make one long video on the Mclassic or if I'm going to make like a bunch of shorter ones. I don't know, but plug the Mclassic. The best way to use the Mclassic is to plug it in to, if you want to use multiple devices with the Mclassic. So, for instance, if you have a bunch of consoles, like a GameCube with a Carby, which is HDMI. Okay, so there's two things here. Let me finish this thought. You can plug it into the output of a selector box, and then just plug all the consoles into that like switcher selector box, and then they'll all go to the Mclassic, which then you can send to the TV or monitor or capture card or whatever in your case it's the Matrix, right? You could actually put the Mclassic on the outside of the Matrix, going to your monitor. But it may be better for you to get a switcher box and use it that way so that you don't have to toggle it on and off all the time. You can just have it on and leave it in your setup for just the consoles that you're always going to use it on. So for instance, I have a selector box with only the consoles that I'm typically going to use it on. I used to have it in my setup at like higher up so I could use it on anything, but I don't. That was a pain. So I changed it. Now if I need to use it on something else, I just have to move it, but that's fine. So GameCube, Wii, those are the two big ones. GameCube, Wii, and Switch. I'd say it's also probably good for an Xbox, but that's a little more complicated. Like original Xbox 360, PlayStation 3. You can still use it on the newer consoles, but you don't need to. I would only use it. The newest console I would use the Mclassic on would be the Switch. It looks incredible on the Switch. What you need to keep in mind, Dreamcast, it looks fantastic too. 3D games at least. What you need to keep in mind is the input resolution on the device affects the scaling of the Mclassic. So it needs to be 1080p or lower for it to work, and the lower it goes, the more scaling and anti-aliasing is applied. So if you're going to do it on a GameCube or a Wii, you want to send a 480p signal to the Mclassic. You could do that with one of those HDMI dongles that doesn't upscale, that just sends 480p signal as HDMI. That's the best way to go for that. Or 720p is okay too, but you're going to lose some scaling on the Mclassic. The Mclassic does is it takes your low resolution game footage and stretches it out to, it scales it integer. I think it's an integer scale, but whatever kind of scaling it is, maybe bilinear, but there's no lag, so I don't think it is. But it scales it up, and then it applies anti-aliasing, a little bit of sharpening, and a little bit of like color boost, which you can then if it's too colorful or something, you could change with the color correction filter or your TV settings. But for the most part, if you're just going to use it on your Switch, like one Switch console, and that's it, you could just plug it right into the Switch on the Switch's HDMI output and then turn it on. It's got two modes. So it's got off and then two modes. It's got a blue light and a green light. The blue mode is it compresses the signal to a 4:3 aspect ratio for retro consoles. So this is helpful in some circumstances where a 16:9 signal is being fed into the Mclassic and you want 4:3, and so you get to squish it down. Like Tacos uses his Mclassic to recorrect his HDMI adapter for his Dreamcast, because the HDMI adapter stretches it out. So he plugs the VGA cord into a VGA to HDMI, which then sends a 16:9 image, which is ugly. Then he turns on the Mclassic in 16:9 mode, and it brings it back into close enough to the approximate Dreamcast aspect ratio. It's not exact, but it works. So yeah, you don't necessarily want to feed a 1080p signal to the Mclassic on anything but the Switch. I think the Switch looks really good when you feed a 1080p signal to it. But you could set the Switch to 720p and get that extra boost out of the scaler. Wii U, same thing. Okay, so here's the thing with Wii U. If you're going to play a Wii game or a virtual console game, I wouldn't use the virtual console for this because the virtual console games are typically 2D, right? Unless you're playing like N64, that's the only exception to this. So the trick with the Wii U, if you're going to play Wii games, if you're going to open the Wii, everybody should do this anyway because there's a massive difference in quality. The Wii U does a terrible job upscaling the Wii side to 1080p to the output. The Wii hardware, what it does is it passes the video signal to the Wii U's video encoder, and that encoder then upscales it to like 1080p to fit your TV or your screen or whatever, and it is horrible. It is it's so ugly, especially with Virtual Console and stuff like that. So what you want to do, if you're gonna use if you want the best image quality possible, right? You need to go into the Wii U menu and set it to 480p manually, and then open Skyward Sword on the Wii or whatever you're gonna play on the Wii, and then turn the Mclassic on to regular mode. You don't need to squish it you can put it on green, which is the 16:9 mode, because it's gonna put out a 16:9 frame at 480p anyway. It's gonna fill the whole frame. It's not gonna stretch it. It's gonna fill it with black on the sides. So this is really important. If you don't do that, you're going to get, first of all, you're going to get a really ugly image out of the Wii U anyway. The colors are going to have a chroma shift. They're going to be really ugly. You should never play Wii games on a Wii U with the Wii set to 1080p or 720p. You want to bump it down to 480p for Wii and Virtual Console games, because those are 240p. There's not as much of a distortion in artifacting and problems and color shift going from 240p games to 480p with the emulated games in Virtual Console. But there is when you go all the way up to 1080p, the problems become more pronounced because the scaling is higher. And so the problems with the scaler become more obvious. For Wii U games, you want to set the console, if you're going to 1080p like you are, you want to set the console to 720p. 99% of the games on the Wii U are rendered at 720p or lower anyway. So scaling it to 1080 is kind of dumb. You don't need to do it. Especially in your setup. You'd be better off just letting your monitor do the 720p to fill the monitor. And then if you use the Mclassic, it will scale it to 1080, and it'll be even more effective on the anti-aliasing and all of the enhancing that it does to bring it to 1080p. So setting the switch, I think, if you're using the 1440p scaler, then you can leave 1080p on the Wii U and the Switch. What you can do is test as well. You can be like, well, I like it a little bit better at 1080p, so I'm going to leave it at 1080p. And oh no, it's definitely better at 720. Just do a test. But in my experience, 720p, if you're going to 1080 like you are, because you're going from your max resolution and your setup is 1080p right now. Not on the capture card. The capture card will take 1440. But your monitors won't. So your best bet is to set 720p on everything. You could even do that on the Switch. It might even help with the Switch games a little bit, run a little bit better if they're not trying to push out 1080, and just let the Mclassic do the rest of the scaling. If you're using 1440p, the Switch is a little bit sharper at 1080. So you're going to get a better effect going on the Switch from 1080 to 1440. So that's in the future. So when you get a 1440p monitor or a 4K monitor and you're ready for 1440p on the Mclassic, that's when we need to talk about that other stuff and figure that out. For Wii U, the most important thing, there's two things everyone needs to keep in mind if they're streaming from the Wii U. The Wii U only puts out limited color space. It doesn't put out full RGB. So, you have to go into your capture card settings and set it to limited instead of full on the in the preferences in OBS on your capture card to get like the proper white and black darks levels. You don't want full RGB when streaming Wii U games. Okay? So set your capture card to limited, and if you're playing anything else, go back to full. This is true for the Wii as well on the Wii U. So that was probably too much information. But you have to set the resolution on the Wii U to 480p for Wii games in order for them to properly render and scale appropriately. Especially, this is really, really important. It massively impacts how games actually render and look. Making them look properly on the Wii U, if you're going to launch the Wii U, you have to drop the resolution to 480p for your stream. If you don't care and you're just playing on your TV and it doesn't matter, then I don't care what you do. But if you're streaming and you want the best quality for your audience, you have to drop the resolution to 480p to get the best possible image quality. It'll also help with the encoder on your stream. It will help with your stream quality, your overall stream quality, because potato in, potato out, right? The encoder, if it has sharper pixels to encode with, you're going to get better detail on your overall stream. So it can help. Did you get 2 Mclassics or just one? Did you get one for each Switch? Or you just have one? I'm waiting for the new... Okay, so yeah, so if you're probably going to just mostly use it on the Wii U as it is. Or Wii. If you have a Wii, you can get one of those little HDMI things. Just try to get one that doesn't go to 1080p. You want one that goes to 480p. The best scaler for the original Wii, in my opinion, if you're going to use a Wii for a GameCube and a Wii, the best scaler is the Mclassic... the RetroTink with the Mclassic, sorry, is the RetroTink 2XM. The 5X is good, but it's very expensive, and it's also, well, I guess the 2XM is very expensive. It's pretty expensive too for a single console scaler. But the 5X doesn't have a proper 480p output. It does have a proper 540p output. So if you have a 5X, which I know you don't, but I'm talking generally here. If you have a RetroTink 5X and you want to get the best scaling out of your Mclassic and you're using the Wii, you need to set to the 540p on the RetroTink 5X at the lowest. 720p is okay too, but 540p would be better for the Mclassic. It scales it properly. If you use 480p on the 5X, RetroTink 5X, it's 1440 by 480p, which the Mclassic doesn't want to scale because it's actually not using the vertical resolution. It's using the horizontal resolution to decide. So when the Mclassic sees 1440 pixels across, it doesn't scale. It just passes the signal through. It needs to see less, like a 600 pixels across, or like 1280, 720, 640, 480. It's looking at that. It looks at that top. It looks at the horizontal, not the vertical. This is why I need to make a video on the the Mclassic, because it's very not well understood. and I've done a lot of like testing and studies and trying to figure out what's going on with this device, and I figured it out. I figured out what it's doing and why it's acting the way that it is. And there's a lot of people in the retro gaming community that just don't understand the device, so it makes it very hard to use. The people will slap it on their, they'll slap it on an N64 coming through a RetroTink 5X, but the RetroTink 5X is already set to 1080, so it's doing like 0 scaling. And you're like, I can't see anything. It doesn't look any different. And I don't think it's a good idea to use on an N64 anyway. The where the Mclassic shines is 3D games from like PlayStation 2 is good because there's a lot, it's interlaced, and a lot of the games are interlaced at least. And it benefits, that's the oldest console I would say benefits from the Mclassic. PlayStation 2 and Dreamcast. GameCube, yes, 100%. There's a massive difference. I could show you guys. We could pick a game, and I could show you any how and why these things are so. I gotta get a sensor bar. I'm gonna buy a USB sensor bar for over here. I have a wireless one, but the batteries are corroded in the thing like crazy. I'm gonna get another sensor bar for out here. So, for this monitor. What was delivered? Something was delivered? Another delivery? I have a USB one on my TV, which is fantastic. Highly recommend a USB sensor bar, so you don't have to have it plugged into your console, especially if you have multiple consoles. This way I don't have to move my sensor bar from like console to console. It's just always on. Let's say Wii sensor. Just reorder the one that I got because I know it's good. And it's $10. That's perfect. So, consoles to use with the Mclassic. Any 3D game that is from PS2 and up, basically. Dreamcast, PS2 and up. I wouldn't use it on PS1. The blocky look is like part of how it looks. I wouldn't use it on Sega Saturn. You know, you're kind of taking away from the original feel of those consoles. Whereas the Dreamcast, it's not so incredibly, like, it doesn't feel like it's totally wrong to do. It feels, although the Dreamcast does look fantastic with the RetroTink 5X. I will say that. Dreamcast blows my mind. Like being able to see the pixels is really great on some games. So it's a game to game basis on some consoles. But I really, really like it on the Wii and the GameCube because those were consoles we had hooked up with RGB cables. So they're kind of built more towards that. It was more common to have RGB cables. And they had this really soft look to them because most of us had a flat panel LCD TV at the time that wasn't really that great to begin with. And we either were using composite or we were using the RGB, and it just was like a little bit of a softer image. And I feel like the Wii, the GameCube really benefit on a modern TV that's like really crisp and clear, new monitors. They really, really benefit from the Mclassic because they don't feel like they look and feel the way that they did when we were playing them. It's not like super far off. It's like it looks good and it looks right because those older TVs we were all using back for the Wii were kind of a softer image to begin with. They weren't like super pixelated. A lot of us had like 720p TVs with bad scalers in them, so the image was like super soft anyway. So, but the Mclassic, I like it. I think it gets a lot of hate. Have you tried it at all yet? Does anybody else have an Mclassic? or not, have a question about what the Mclassic is. I really like it. I'm gonna do an entire like series on the Mclassic on my YouTube channel. Oh, did you do it on stream? I hadn't. I was only lurking from far away, so I didn't notice. How did it look? Well, you probably had the Wii U set to 1080p, so it probably did very little. For Spirit Tracks, you'll notice the anti-aliasing, but I don't know. I haven't really try 480p and see. For the you got to remember these games are originally rendered at like nothing. Like the DS screen is like 200 pixels or something. So man, I really wish I had a DS consoleizer. Really wish I had a DS consoleizer. Yes, yeah, DS games look like garbage when they're blown up. It depends. I think they look pretty good for what they are on using the Wii U emulator. I would probably drop the resolution on the Wii U to 480p for Spirit Tracks. Even though it's running on the Wii U side, the scaler's not as bad. The problem is the Wii. If you're going to run games on the Wii, if you're going to open the Wii at all, like you're going to launch, you know how it's like a separate, it's like an app, but it relaunches the console into a Wii. You want to bypass the Wii U video encoder entirely. That is the biggest problem. It's that freaking Wii U. You don't want to pass the signal over to the Wii U video encoder and then have it upscaled to 1080p. It is garbage. It is absolute garbage. It is bad even if you're not using an Mclassic. It is garbage. Absolute garbage. If you're going to run the Wii was built around 480p output, and the scaler on that chip is garbage. Horrible. 480p. If you launch the Wii at all, make sure you go into 480p mode. Unless you don't care and you're playing in your room by yourself and it doesn't matter to you. But if it's for stream and you want to give your viewers the best crisp image possible, drop that shit down to 480p. I could show you guys. I mean, we could go through this right now. It wouldn't be hard. I think it's on 3. No, it's 2. No signal. Wii U. So, where should we start? Where should we start? I've got Zelda Spirit Tracks, right? Or that's Phantom Hourglass. That'll work, right? So right now my Wii is set at 480. Or no, it's 1080. So if I set the RetroTink, no, the Mclassic, wow, all these products. That's the blue mode. See how it squishes it? That's the retro mode. We want green or off. So let's turn it off. Let's turn the Mclassic off entirely. Okay, so Mclassic's off. Okay. So, just so things are more fun. So, we've got Phantom Hourglass. No scaling whatsoever. Right? This is what it looks like. And actually, it would be better for me if I was streaming, right? You're probably not going to have it this small. And there's a... I know there's a way. Screen settings. So... Okay, first of all, see the screen smoothing? We want to turn that off. Okay, that's the first thing. The next thing we want to do is get a good layout. Okay? And... What you probably did this one and just moved it up, right? Is that what you did? You edited the layout? So I could actually do this and get a similar look to what you're doing. So like there's so much screen real estate here, it's crazy. Right? So, oh, but we want to reverse these screens. Right? This is like there's so much setup with all this stuff. Right? This is what we want. Right? Because this one's not good. This one's not good. Although this one would give you the most scaling. And then you could just like edit it in OBS. But if you're playing on a TV, which a lot of people would be, it'd be better to go this way. And then just kind of move your camera like this. Or, you know, edit it so that if you want your camera over here, you could duplicate the source and drag this over. But for now, I'll just do this. And okay, so this gives you a good idea. You can see that there's no... You can see how pixelated it is. All that business. So let's turn the Mclassic on. Okay, Mclassic's turning on. Okay, so not a stark difference. You can see that it's a little smoother. It's a little bit different. But it's not that different, right? We could even go like even bigger here, but it's a little bit smoother. A little bit. It's not that big of a difference. So now how do we quit? Home, that's right. I haven't used the Wii U in a long time. Okay. So let me fit this back. We're going to close software. Oh, we're hearing Curious George, that's why. I was wondering why we're not hearing this. And I know why. Let's switch over here. We get actual audio from this. I wonder if that's gonna come through. We'll see. Okay. So I want to go into the settings. No, that's the controller settings. Okay, it's not in here. I gotta go into this thing, like the cog on the gamepad. There it is. Okay. So now we're going to see what this looks like if we drop. So I got to go over to TV settings and TV resolution, and I'm going to drop it to 480p, standard definition. Say okay. Okay, resolution set to 480p. And the menus all look horrible now, but that's normal. That's what I'm gonna do. God, the loading times on the Wii U are insane. For getting back to this homepage thing, it's like loading screen, loading screen, loading screen. Okay, Nintendo DS. We're gonna open Phantom Hourglass again, but this time we're in 480p, right? I can see that the scaling is intense now. Because we're going from 480p to 1440p on this signal at least. Okay. Okay. Now things look way more scaled and painterly. Way more intense. So the Mclassic kind of gives it like a brushed look a bit, like a painted look. So like you could see on Link's cap now that it's trying to make a soft line instead of those pixels, those chunky pixels. And you know, it's fine. This is really a preference thing at this point. I'm a person who thinks Phantom Hourglass, like, the pixels are nice. The Nintendo DS screen wasn't soft. It was crispy and like, you know, well, it looked like this. Let's turn off. Let's turn off. Turn off the Mclassic. Looked like this. All right, let's see if that smoothing filter's back on. Oh, so if I tap that, I can turn that on. Man, that looks so bad. So pushing the right stick in turns on and off this like blur filter, which is awful. So don't turn that blur filter on. I kind of like the pixelated look. And I think it does look better. It's not substantially better to do 480p for this at all. This doesn't look substantially better to me. I think it looked fine scaling. See, the stuff on the Wii U side, the scaling for some reason works fine. It's like it was built appropriately. Now, again, I don't have my capture card set up right here, right? So I need to go into the 4K capture card. I'll show you the difference. If I put this on partial instead of full, the colors are going to pop better. So here's full. See how pale? It's almost like there's a white mask over everything. If I put it on partial, the colors pop better. See how, like, especially if you look, if you look at the shadows, can you see the difference on that? If I zoom way in, I think it'll be way more obvious. Let me zoom like way in. Okay, like, so let's go to full. Okay, see the shadow on under the tree here? The shadow is like, it's not intense, right? It's not very dark. If I go to partial, see how dark it gets? And there's like a nice crisper outline. It's almost like there's a white filmy layer when you have it on full. That's because the color range is too high. You really need the color range on partial for the Wii U. See how much more the colors pop? You know, it makes a pretty big difference. So this is why you need to put it on partial and not full. If it's on full, you're gonna get like a washed out color range. This is not true for other consoles. This is just the Wii U. You can have the Switch on full, everything else you want on full, but you want this on partial. You want the Wii U on partial. DK64 looks best at 720 on Virtual Console. Okay. Yeah, there's more scaling that's going to be happening at 720. I would say the Wii U for the Mclassic, you probably want to leave it at 720p. It's going to be like a mix of crispy, the crispiness of the Wii U that you get, while at the same time giving the Mclassic the most room to upscale and apply its effects as well. For games like this, even though it's technically a 3D game, I don't think you should use the Mclassic. I'm gonna put the Wii on 720p and we'll do a test. Close. The only problem with this is how long the Wii U takes to like move from menu to menu. Really. I think 480p. I think what we're gonna find. I've done this test before. I'm pretty sure what we're gonna find is if you launch the Wii, you need it on 480p. If you're playing Wii U games at all, 720p. I'm pretty sure. Unless you don't have an Mclassic. If you don't have an Mclassic, 1080p is fine. Okay, so settings. Let's launch the system settings. So that's a quick thing, right? So we go over to TV. TV. Okay. Resolution 720p. You're gonna get the most scaling out of your Mclassic on the Wii for Wii games, Wii U games, especially. But 480p for Wii, 720 for Wii U. I think that's what we're gonna find here. I think that the emulator for the Wii U on Virtual Console, it's expected to be scaled to at least 720p, so it's gonna look like pretty good that way. Whereas anything on the Wii needs, I'll show you that in a second. I'll use the easiest game. Well, there's probably a bunch of games that this is true for, but the easiest game to test with is Resident Evil 4 for the Wii. Resident Evil 4 for the Wii, it's really apparent, at least in the testing I've done. I'm sure it's apparent in other things too. We could try some... See, this looks crispy to me. See, that does look really good. And so that's being scaled. This is now being scaled by the system to 720p. And then if I turn the smoothing on, it's just blurred, man. It's just blurry and ugly. God, that's horrible. I like this. This is good. Let's see what the Mclassic does with it. I don't think I'm gonna like it. I wouldn't use the Mclassic on DS games. It looks okay. It just looks looks pastel-ish. But I like the pixels. This kind of preserves the pixels a little bit. It makes the map look a little cleaner. I don't hate it. I prefer the actual original pixel image. I think 720p, no Mclassic for this game. That's my opinion. That's how I would play it. It's up to personal preference here. I don't think anybody's actually going to complain that you're using the Mclassic. I would say Wii U though. I'm pretty sure we're going to want to leave it on. Generally speaking, we're going to leave it on 720 anyway. And then just use the Mclassic when it looks right in the right game. But I would just play at 720p, no Mclassic for the Nintendo DS games. I don't think it looks good on the like these older the look of the console. So if I'm gonna go into Wii U, let's pick something everybody's kind of used to looking at. Let's do Super Mario 3D World. That was almost in pitch with the...
Super
Yeah, 1080 just looks like all soft and mushy. 720p looks like a nice combination, and 480p is too downscaled. Yeah. Okay. So, Mclassic is on. I'm gonna go just to the capture card scene so you guys can see as clear as day. I can tell the Mclassic is on because there is some very like the bricks. I can see on the bricks how soft. Well, now they're gone. The tube. I can see on the tube. It's like this, like the smoothing filter is very obvious on the edge of the tube. I wish I could like point this out easier. It's not that simple to point out, but on this tube here, or even on the text on the, see how nice this looks? That tube, those pixels are getting like really anti-alias. Like the filter is working really hard to try to make that into a straight line. You can kind of tell. But I think just, if you're just looking at the overall image, man, it looks so good. Okay, so I don't know. This one's probably safe.
Oh yeah, Mario time.
Oh yeah, Chris Pratt time. I like it. I think it looks great. It's like, it doesn't take away from the original art style. Like it looks good. It's crazy how good it looks, to be honest. Mario looks a little flat, but I bet when we get right into an actual level, oh, Toad! Oh, this level. Okay, so this is good. We've got an animated character in front of us with a lot of like curves. And we've got some static elements on the wall. So, let me turn the Mclassic off. This is 720p, remember? I mean, that looks good. And it's at 720p, but you can see, if you look at the wall, I need to be able to draw on this so you guys can see. If you look at that seam in the wall, I know what to do. I'm gonna just move my camera and point up, right? Point like this. This seam right here, okay? This is how we do it. This seam right above me. If you look there, right? I could probably zoom in so we can get a major difference. See the difference as much as possible, right? So let's zoom this bitch in. Okay. See all the jaggies? See all the jaggies there? And then maybe on her hat. You know, if we look at her hat, the edges of her hat. This is the stuff. And this seam right here. Trying to point. This seam right here. Those two seams. And the wood, the edges of the wood planks right here. Okay, these edges. Now we're gonna turn the Mclassic back on. Oh. That's in the audio capture. I just thought it was my tinnitus. Give it a sec. Okay. Okay. See, it's still got the jaggies, but they're less sharp. They're there, but they're just smoothed out a little bit. Same thing here on this one and on the wood. And her hat, you can see it flickering on the edges just a tiny bit less. And you can see how smooth he looks now. He looks really smooth, the dino. So, it does a lot. All these things kind of add up when it's the normal size, right? And in motion, it adds up a lot. So you want to look at flowers? I guess there's the first level, right? We can go compare the flowers. in motion, it looks incredible. It's like you don't have time to stare at the processing, the edges of things. So, I don't know. I think this is probably on the overworld. Okay. I think 720p plus the Mclassic is a win. I think it's a big win here. It's a big win. The waterfalls look great. Ah! Perfect. I needed a reason to quit. Oh, we need to go back and look at the flowers in the overworld anyway. Exit course. Okay. So. Yeah, okay, let's zoom in. Can I get a good look here on these flowers? Let's zoom in on those flowers. Okay. I think that fits very well. Let's turn the Mclassic off. Now remember, I'm getting all the way scaled up to 1440p here. So this is the max quality you can get out of this device. You can tell the difference. The flowers look a little more like, if you really look at the edge. Let's try to get in more. This sure is just, I need like a straight up zoom function. If you look at the edges, if you look at the edges of the flower while it's moving, you can see how the pixels kind of like shift around and flicker a little bit. You see that? There's like some white pixels right here in the edge of the flower that just like kind of dance and move a little bit. That to me is like artifacting. It may be the grass underneath, but it doesn't look clean. You know, it doesn't really look nice. Let's turn the Mclassic back on. And that's pretty cleaned up now, because it's kind of like smoothing those pixels out. And when it's scaled normally, man, that looks fantastic to me. I really like what the Mclassic does with the Wii U 3D games. I wouldn't use it on 2D games, and I wouldn't use it on the DS games. I would just not use it. But modern games, it really does it's a big deal. Okay, so let me show you. Yeah, the DS games are like, yeah, they're basically 2D games. Yeah. The pixels are meant to be like counted. Like, you're supposed to be able to count the pixels. Okay, so let's go to the worst case scenario for the Wii first. And I'll be able to do this on original Wii hardware and on the Wii U, so that we can really get a good comparison of like best possible. So if you only have a Wii U to play Wii games, I feel bad for you. But oh, that's 480p. No, we want to go to 1080p. Back. Let's go to 1080p. So I'm going full, whatever, the fullest possible. This is going to be the ugliest you're going to see the Wii, basically. Right? Okay, resolution set. And I'm going to have to grab a game, which I have plenty of Wii games. Oh, that's right. There's a sensor bar on the stand here. Okay, so we're gonna launch the Wii. These are Wii games. I gotta launch the actual Wii menu. Point the Wiimote. Yeah, that's right. It's like, hey, buddy. I need to pair you. That one is already paired. Oh, I gotta point it at the TV. But there's a Wiimote. I thought there was a sensor bar built into the... Is there not? Oh. Okay, so worst case scenario for the Wii. I thought there was a sensor bar built into this. I guess I need to break out my wireless one. It's weird, that buzzing. Okay. Okay, so look how soft the image is. Let's go with the Mclassic off. Oh, it does have a sensor bar. It just doesn't work on that until you're in the Wii mode. Okay. Perfect. Let me grab a game. I think I need a nunchuck. We'll go with my expertly repaired nunchuck that his tape is coming off of. That's not gonna stay. Add some tape. Professional Wiimote repair right here. I took an extension cable. This nunchuck cable got fried, right? So I bought an extension and then I just soldered the cables together. Or didn't even solder them. I just twisted them together and taped it up like a madman. Okay, so Resident Evil 4.
Resident Evil
Wow.
4.
Why does it sound like that? This is why I don't like the Wii on the Wii U. Did you hear that? It was like insane amount of bass. Okay, look at this car. It's so garbage looking. This is a 1080p. Look at how soft and ugly it is. God, it looks so bad. Ugh, it's like unacceptably low quality. It's incredible. Look at how bad that looks. I'm not going to stop gushing at how horrible this is. This is so bad. It's the 1080p. Okay, see how soft the text is here? The text is just like super soft. Wii edition looks terrible. This is without the Mclassic. The Mclassic is not going to fix this. This is bad. Let's see if I have a save we can load. Okay, let's load this. This is probably the farm, the first save point right before you go in. Oh, and I got the hat. Okay. Okay, take note of the hat, the gun. Look at the band around his hat, the rim around his hat, and the rim around his jacket here. I don't know if it's a scarf or what it is, but now let's turn the Mclassic on. Now it's gonna be better, but there's only so much it can do with such garbage. Okay, the Mclassic is on. It's not good. If you ask me, it is not good. That is bad. It almost doesn't even look like it's doing anything. Because we're going from 480p to 1080p with the Wii's internal scaler. It's garbage. And the Mclassic is on. It's like I have to check. Yeah, it's on. The Mclassic is on. I can't even really tell. It's not like the difference is even that stark. So what I'm gonna do, it's fine. You go. I'm gonna finish this little segment. I'm gonna go and we're gonna go into the Wii. We gotta reboot into Wii mode, and then we're gonna set it to 480p, and we're gonna look at the difference there. And it's gonna be crazy. Just you wait. Okay, so Wii menu. This is gonna be a thing. This is it. Oh boy. Okay, so Wii U menu. So we gotta launch the Wii U menu. It's gonna restart the console basically into the Wii U. I'll go in. We'll adjust down to 480p and I'll show you. This is gonna be crazy. The difference is just massive. Especially for Wii. This is why I say you have to set to 480p. I'm just gonna prove my point. It's also true for like the virtual console games. They do not look right. They look terrible. At the 1080p soft scaling, it's just like a weird scaling that the Wii U wants to do to the Wii. It doesn't look right. I mean, I could show you right away if I turn on my actual Wii with proper connections, like the best possible connections, you'd see. So this is still gonna look good. It's gonna look very close to the original Wii. So I'm at 480p now. So the menu looks real soft. It's like, ooh, is that right? Yes. Still at 16:9. There's some people that say you shouldn't play Wii games at 16:9 because the anamorphic. Whatever. I'm not gonna debate that at all. I don't care. Most of us, if we had a widescreen setup, were using the 16:9 aspect ratio on the Wii, and it was very normal for us to play games that way. So I don't think it looks that bad or is significantly worse. So, okay, let's go back into the Wii menu. Oh, I gotta use the... I gotta point it at the TV. Hold on. I wish the gamepad sensor bar would work. Without having to go into that. Or you could use the buttons or D-pad or something to select it. But nope, you got to actually point it at the sensor bar on your TV, which is kind of a pain. Okay, let's go into Wii. Look, okay, the Mclassic's on. Let's take a look. No Mclassic. You'll see how much sharper. And it still has that soft-ish look. It's not quite a Wii, like an actual Wii. But this is really close to what the Wii does look like.
Resident Evil 4.
I don't know why the audio wants to do that. It's real. That bass doesn't like the bass. All right. It's better, but still kind of blurry. But if this is your best bet. Now, like it did, the Wii did kind of look blurry. To be fair, originally speaking, it did kind of look like a blurry mess on most people's TVs. Okay. Look at that. This is without the Mclassic. This is at 480p. The colors look better. The text looks better. It's still soft, but it does look better. I'm gonna load up the same game. Okay, so here's 480p. You can already tell that it's not quite as like bad. I mean, it's still got all the jaggies, but something about it is cleaner. It's like less weirdly soft. Like the actual jaggies are sharper almost, right? Okay. Mclassic. 480p to 1440p. Here we go. Oh wow, the carpet's kind of moving here. I need to get a rug saver. Look at his hat. Look at his hat. Look at that. Look at the hat. It's almost smooth. Like, come on. Look at the difference here. This is crazy. Oh, this. I probably do need to reconnect to this. I don't know if it's the connector or what it is. Cable? Probably the cable. Look at the hat. It's like, it's all the jaggies are gone. 480p. Massive difference in what the RetroTink or the Mclassic can do. With, look at the hat. It's like almost perfectly straight. This is like such a massive difference. You do not want to run Wii games at 1080p. If you're launching the Wii, turn off 1080p. Turn it off. It's not worth it. Look at this. I mean, I didn't do this on the other one, but you could tell how bad it was. The hat is like straight, right? The gun still, it's the angle of the gun. It's still got kind of that jaggies on it, but the hat is where it's the most obvious. And on the wall here, it's crazy. It's crazy. 480p, people. Please use 480p if you're playing Wii games on a Wii U. Set your console to 480. It's a massive change. Even if you're not using an Mclassic, it is a massive, massive change. It's much sharper. It's not a blurry mess, and especially if you're going to play virtual console games, for those 3 people in the world that own a Wii U and still play it. Okay, so what about the Wii? Let's do this with the Wii, yeah? That's where everyone's going to have like some actual, like, let's do it with the actual Wii. How about that? So let's turn off. I have to get out of Wii mode. It's like turns into an actual Wii, and then it just becomes like a mess from here. You can get a Wii for like nothing. No, not nothing, but like 30, 40 bucks off of Goodwill. And if you have a broken one or something, then it's possible to even have that fixed. Alright, I gotta go into Wii U so I can shut the Wii U off. Such a stupid setup. Oh my god. So we'll launch the Wii. This will be the last test I'm going to do on the Mclassic, and then we'll call this. Charge that. Ugh, it takes forever to load. Okay. Let me put this back. we'll start the process for the last section here. I can use all of this in my video probably. Okay. So. Oh, I gotta get the disc out. Dang it. I just dusted this. How is this still like this? I know. Can I just turn you off this way? Alright, friends. Okay, so there's the Wii. Mclassic is on. I don't have a sensor bar. Okay. I still haven't installed this as an app, so I have to go in here first. And Resident Evil 4.
Resident Evil 4.
So this is on the original Wii. Original Wii hardware. You can see how it is soft. But also the Mclassic is on right now. So same similar like boxy look. Okay. So let's see what saves we have on here. Let's load this one. This should be like around the save spot. Now I don't have the same hat and stuff like that, but you know. No, this is much further into the game, sadly. Well, it's not that much further, but I'm still like right outside the village. So this is original Wii going into a RetroTink 2XM. And yeah, I don't have the sensor bar, so let's turn off the Mclassic. Shut it off. I wish I had that same hat on this, but I haven't played this enough on the save. But you can see this is the original Wii. Actually, one of the things we want to test here too is on the capture card settings. What happens when we go to full? Does it look all washed out? Yeah, it does. It brightens up the picture almost. So it's not super washed out. You might be okay running this at full. But partial kind of gives it the right tone. Let's see, full. Yeah, it's got that kind of filmy look to it. So I'd say the Wii looks better at partial. So I would leave this on partial. So this is without the Mclassic running now. On the original Wii, I'm going into a RetroTink 2XM, and I actually have it set to pass through. The RetroTink 2XM doesn't pass the signal properly to the Mclassic if you have it do not on pass through. So setting it to pass through allows it to send the straight up 480p signal to the 2XM, and then you get the better scaling, and that looks really good. That looks... I mean, it's not like, ooh, wow, it's 4K all of a sudden, but it does look better. I can tell on his arm, on his hair, on the edge of his head, on his clothes. It looks better. It's definitely an upgrade. In motion, you can't, especially games like the newer games, you can't even tell. I think if you're going to play a lot of Wii games on stream, you're going to want to use an original Wii and just get one of those, at the very worst, get one of those HDMI adapters and try to get one that does 480p so that you can pass that properly, the original signal to the Mclassic if you're going to use an Mclassic. If not, just grab whatever scaler. Those 1080p scalers, they don't add like a ton of lag or anything. You can totally use them. But the original Wii, this is best case scenario. If you want to get your Wii to be like the best quality possible on your stream, then RetroTink 2XM, you could do the 5X if you put it in 540p mode. I'm not going to show you that because I'd have to rewire a ton of stuff to make that work. It's not really worth doing right now, but with all the other stuff that we've done today. But RetroTink 2XM, like if you want the best image quality out of your Wii, and it's just gonna go to an Mclassic and a capture card and your 1440p monitor or 4K monitor TV, then Mclassic. You're going to use the RetroTink 2XM and set it on pass-through, so you get the actual 480p signal sent directly to the Mclassic, and then let the Mclassic upscale to 1080p. So this is upscaled to actually 1440p. But if you have a 1080p monitor, 1080p is fine too. So that's the Mclassic. It's a very misunderstood and underutilized device, and I'm sure by the time people figure it out, or I even make these videos, they're just going to come out with a 4K one that it doesn't have all the problems that the current one has, and people will just like it because it is a good device when you get it working right, when you get the right input signal sent to the Mclassic and it's sending out the right signal. It is a good device. It's not a good device for 2D games and really old consoles, but it's a great device for the Wii and the Wii U and the Switch. If you want like a Switch Pro signal, Mclassic. And Mclassic will get you there so fast. It is so good on the Switch. I haven't even shown you guys that. We can do that another time. But Switch and GameCube is great too. I can show you that next time if we want. But really what you're trying to do here is make the best signal go from your console to your stream, so that the encoder has less to fuss with. You know, this should look pretty good on stream. I'm sure some people will be like, that's not the Wii. Well, yeah, you're right. It's not. It's the Wii on the Mclassic. Proper settings and tools. So if I turn the Mclassic off, the Wii really does have a soft signal. Now, if I put the Wii into the RetroTink 5X, the pixels stand out much more. You get a really jaggy, pixelated look. If you like that look, the Wii never looked that to me. When I was younger and I was playing games with the Wii, it never looked jaggy. Like I could see every single pixel. I don't prefer my Wii to look that way. The soft image here that I'm seeing here is very similar to how I remember the games looking, but the Mclassic just kind of kicks it up a notch and cleans it up even more, like almost a CRT, or not quite, but it kicks it up. Now you could probably get away with the smoothing filter on the RetroTink 5X, but the pixels are so sharp going in already to the RetroTink 5X that it's like, I don't know, the smoothing filter does less there. You could combine that smoothing filter with the Mclassic, but if you have a RetroTink 5X, you're probably playing with this stuff already, and you probably are just gonna fiddle until you get a really nice image quality on your own. So, anyway, it's probably it's my dinner time. My body, I can tell. So, I hope this was helpful. If you guys want to ask me questions about any of this tech, you can let me know in the Discord if you're interested in trying to get the proper setup for anything on your stream, any console, and you're an affiliate. You can go to infinitequality.live to apply. And that's it. Thank you guys so much for hanging out, and I will see you in the next stream.